opening song and whatnot because we're already late 10 minutes.
Oh, I'm so sorry that I made everyone late.
If we were a Nick Recated stream, there'd be people sitting in there calling us gay for being late. Oh,
well, we are gay.
congratulations, we are.
I mean, like, what? They're observing reality. I'm so sorry.
I don't date dudes anymore. It's just not worth it.
I'm starting
Did we
to feel
talk
like
about the decision that was made by a bunch of us when it comes to straight guys? Frozen?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, I don't remember coming to a single decision about them. Sorry.
Straight guys have 3 things that they focus on in life. Boobs, but that's universal to all groups. Doesn't matter if they're gay, bi, trans, cis. Everyone loves boobs.
Everyone does love boobs.
The second thing is their stomach, food and drink.
Yeah.
Also, pretty much universal. Can't really complain. The third thing is dick. They either hand on it early in life, the hand never leaves it for the rest of their life. All the porn they watch involves a dick. Whether it's trans porn, straight porn, you name it, they're having a dick involved. Guys are so upset, and they compare it with other guys' ones. Straight guys are so focused on dick, I'm pretty sure they're gay.
You should talk to a friend of mine. Shout out to my friend Valerie.
Do straight guys really ever exist?
Well, anytime a straight guy masturbates, he has to touch a dick, so he's inherently gay.
There is that too. They were always saying that makes you 50% gay. I'm like, no, we're upgrading it to 100% at this point.
Hang on, I'm posting this wherever the fuck I can.
I'm just saying, it's a simple reality. With bi guys and gay guys, they're already doing all 3 already, and they're comfortable and happy with it and everything. But straight guys, boy, you mentioned that last part. A lot of them will get really upset. Especially on Twitter. I don't know why.
Oh, Twitter's its own universe at this point. It has its own continuity and characters and whatnot. Oh god. Just so Walter drew this picture of oh god, I can't remember who it was, but she drew this picture of someone on Twitter, right? And immediately I was like, "Is there a version with giant anime boobs?" And within like 5 minutes, she sent me.
She had one. Yep.
She already had one ready to go. I was like, "Of course she did. Of course she did. She was prepared."
Why am I not surprised?
Hey, it's the way things work now. I don't make the rules. I just follow them as much as I can.
Why is MeBot not posted yet? Okay, we're gonna just do this.
Hey, all right. I'm just still bringing this chat up because I want to read the chat and have people ask questions.
All right, I'm gonna start posting it at other ones because why hell not?
Yep, and I have the chat up as well.
Hey, cool. I have this recurring meme where I keep blaming Bree for not like reading the chat, and for the fact it's probably me not doing it.
Even though, yeah, I'm the one who's actually doing it, but you're just kind of blaming me because, well, why not blame Bree? Everyone blames me already.
Well, you know what you're not doing is not introducing our guest here.
All right. Well, season 2, episode 2, we have our first guest finally. Hey, Dorian. We have K0ngbuster here. Kong, why don't you give yourself a little introduction?
Absolutely, and thank you for having me on the show for tonight. So for the introduction of myself, for a long time now, I've been doing all kinds of voice work, whether it be bass to voiceover gigs, opera singing for the past 17 years of my life and counting since then. I played video games for a long time, of course, how many of us have. But recently, though, with my big epitaph, my big epiphany of where my direction is going in life, I've sold all trading cards, all video games, all movies. I am solely focused on work, voice work, etc., and spreading it everywhere.
You know, it pretty much is one of those industries where that's kind of the normal. One YouTuber that I enjoy watching, he used to stream on Twitch every once in a while, but he mostly streams on YouTube, is Hellbent. I don't know if you watch him. But he does a lot of voice work, too.
Yeah, and actually, I saw him on a comment once for a Red Supre video, but I do know the guy that you're talking about.
I forget the channel he does most of his stuff with, but I always seem to find it interesting that a lot of guys that do voice work, and especially ones that do opera, are all basses.
Mm-hmm. Bass 1, or baritone, bass 1, bass 2 throughout all those years of my life.
Pre-transition in college, in high school, I was always bass 2 in choir stuff, whether it was male choir, show choir, miss those days sometimes, in all honesty. No, well, I still have my keyboard right over here, so I can still at least do a little music.
Hmm.
But I really did not plan much of a topic for today, so
I actually have a relevant question for our guest.
go for it, hon.
But okay, so did you hear about the voice NFT thing?
I sure did.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
God, that.
can someone smarter than me explain this whole thing? Because I'm just gonna fuck it up, right? There's a whole bunch of shit that happened with that, and it's like, where to even begin?
Oh, so now do you mean like the AI involved voices making NFTs? You mean?
That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking it was.
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah.
Oh,
And
with Troy Baker and Matt Mercer, right? So I did. So I think I just found that on my own, but I want to say one of my close friends brought it to my attention, and I'm like, oh dear, this blew up. So I observed over 10 years ago how autotune was like really harshly looked at in its early days. Kind of like, wait, what is this? This is like not a talented endeavor or anything like that. 10 plus years later, this to me is how I observe it in the same parallel to what this is. Artificial intelligences creating voices of their own, even though it's like dubbed from a celebrity or like the voiceover artist, in this case, for example, Troy Baker, Matt Mercer, in which that totally defeats the point, even more so than autotune does. Because at least, I mean, not to give any credit, but at least with what autotune is, there is still somebody physically saying something, despite not really being any talent there, but somebody is still saying something. Whereas this is actually effortless, more or less.
Yeah.
like,
It's like
okay,
taking deep fakes and taking AI even further, where it's like, man, we don't even need to take real people. We can just take fake people.
Mhm.
how good are the actual like voice constructions though? I like jank.
I bet. Well, even though I haven't heard anything personally, I bet it's not only in its primordial stages, since all like, NFTs them. Well, it's funny. The concept of what NFTs are in the modern sense today are very new. But as I think about what that kind of medium is, we've had them for ages. I think back to what even Pokemon themselves were on like Red, Blue, and Yellow, like what that is in that form, trading them. That thing is well, not to compare them to a parallel exactly, but I thought about it where I'm like, oh wait, like digital goods for ages have been like what is known as an NFT itself, not in that same verbiage, but it's a similar concept for its value and that sort of thing, sort of.
Yeah, I mean, back even in, oh good lord, the late '90s, we were doing real money trades in Ultima Online
There's
just
been
for digital
cases.
goods.
There's been cases of people having to go to court over digital items in games.
Hmm.
Yeah, I believe there's a guy who killed a guy over items in a game because drama. And then there's a whole bunch of other drama involving with
Wait,
items.
so all those days PKing and UO, I could have been taking the.
Yeah.
I hereby apologize. I will no longer be held liable for my actions.
Oh, there we go. Hey, I like putting my feet up on the street.
Speaking of NFTs, did you two see the Dune debacle by that one
The
group?
Dune.
No.
DUNE.
I don't think so. No.
All right. If you look in. Actually, did I even put. Oh, I put it in Frozen's one. I will send. I put it in our stream chat one, Frozen. I'll message this to you, Kong. Basically, a group
No.
bought an NFT for a copy of Dune for $2.66 million.
I did
And
hear
they
about
thought
this.
that they were buying the actual rights to
Oh
the
man,
entire
that's
IP
so not how that
of
works.
Dune. They want
So
to
not how
produce
that
a new
works.
original animated series. They want to make the book public, even though the book is already that they bought has already been public and available online for years. You can see every
Hmm.
page of it in high definition.
Oh,
Pretty
God.
sure archive.org has a copy of this exact book for free. But they spent like many times over the value of this stupid book, thinking that
Like,
they were going to do all this shit. It's like,
do they not know
no.
how the real world works? Like,
Oh,
did they not live here?
either they don't, or they are in an echo, or they've been in an echo chamber for years and are just
Yeah.
taking this all for fact.
They
Yeah.
don't even get the book. It's literally just a spot on the blockchain saying that you paid
Oh, yeah.
this much. It's you basically paid for a receipt. That's all you get is a receipt.
This
and the
is new to
receipt's
me.
not
This
even
is interesting.
useful. It's a receipt that you can't even, it's like a receipt that works at one location, but that doesn't work at any of the other locations of the same chain. It's so dumb.
Oh my word.
God bless stupid people on the internet.
I know. I've been,
Have millions of dollars also like on top
Yeah.
of that. Like that's nuts, honestly.
Oh yeah, it's the art community in general on Twitter is split right down the middle. You have half
Ooh, yeah.
that hate NFTs with a passion, will literally block people who are into it. One artist, actually no, he's not even an artist. He's just a dude that likes to retweet a lot of artists. He made an actual, I think, app where you can basically auto block people for you that are involved with NFT stuff. And then you have the people who just buy into it. Like one of the artists that did a 3D model for me, and they're just making money hand over fist off stupid people. It's like you don't even get the model; you just get to claim you have the model.
God, did you see? Is this true about Twitter's NFT wallet thing that they got going on?
Oh, so not so much. Well, I haven't seen the phrase wallet specifically with that, but
Like-
I had.
Oh, Discord was also supposedly involved with. They were considering
really?
doing it, and they were getting lambasted from people left and right online.
So same thing with so many gaming companies, Square Enix, Capcom, Ubisoft, you name it. They've been getting hammered by fans for saying no, don't fucking do this. Basically, like don't do this.
All right, so
What,
I'm
should
not
we
talking
sell an
shit.
NFT of our new emotes, the Bree and the Frozen one from our split screen?
This has really helped me redefine. So I thought I knew the phrase, and granted, for years I've known the phrase of what vaporware means. This has redefined to me what vaporware is, single-handedly.
See that
Yeah,
completely.
It would be worse. It would actually wouldn't be worse if he was just selling nothing, because you're selling, like, it takes energy to calculate and store all this shit. It's horrible.
A negative sum
Worse-
on a negative sum on a negative sum. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like
Okay.
I keep
Awesome.
ignoring crypto because it's like, okay, until there's a standard that everyone agrees to, that everyone's using the same one, kind of like in so many sci-fi ones, the whole credit system
Okay,
that
here
we
go.
have had in games and movies and things like that for freaking decades. It's like, what's the point in getting involved where it's like, well, okay, this might end up being completely useless and then you don't make any money.
I found
Plus, you
what I was
get
trying
people who are just making up their own freaking crypto.
Oh, it gets even worse. So, like, based on what you said, I also did happen to notice, and this, like, I'm not sure if it got deleted, but this went out of the scene very quickly. You two may know of that one dude named Etika from many years back. That I saw some people making NFTs of him, in which those got the worst cantankerous results possible as far as feedback goes.
We had
Mind you,
people.
he's been dead for over a year.
We had people making NFTs by taking clips from Twitch and trying to sell them for
Oh
money.
man, I haven't seen that yet, but
And
I've
the
seen some
clips
things like
were-
that.
The clips aren't even that dude's right to be able to use them for that. They belong to
Oh right.
Twitch and they belong to us, the streamer. But they're just gonna start. It's like, what the fuck?
Okay, can I just copy the fucking link? Thank you.
Thankfully, he got called out and he ended up shutting down his site. But still, it was hilarious.
There we go.
Like everyone and their mother wants to sell NFTs just to make bank as quickly as they can.
And actually, it's funny because, like, even though there is such a hideous and both insidious side to this, at the same moment, for what it is for free enterprise, I can't blame people for auctioning something and end up getting like $1 million+ for it. Because, like, and of course, like the way how most of us, if not, I'm sure most of us observe it, and including myself, is that it is like such a scam kind of venture capitalist thing. But at the same time, as long as both sides agree to it, and they're so hyped up in the moment, it's like free enterprise for what it is. Not saying that I support it, but I see both angles there.
Yeah, there's a demand and people are literally just making the supply for it because
Oh,
they
yeah.
see the demand.
Out of nothing, really. Like, to be honest, like the supply, like taking it almost out of nowhere, just making something. It's almost like the idea of just drawing a single line on a canvas and selling it as art and having it sell for millions.
Part of me is like trying to take some of my old art that I use, like that whole line of profile pics that I made for people for Facebook that were all gamer related. It's like, here, I'll just sell NFTs on all these. And just who knows? I just don't want my branding tied to fucking NFTs. That's the problem.
Mhm.
The
So-
moment that happens, you get booted from a whole slew of some pretty cool people.
Oh no, yeah. And actually, I do have a great. This is kind of personal story, but it's actually something that is in the public domain. Long story short, after I finished watching the movie for the first time, 2001: A Space Odyssey, and that happened pretty recently. Awesome fucking film, by the way. I happen to put out there that something about. I can grab the original tweet in the text, but just to summarize the story, I put out a tweet out there about how great the movie was and tagged a bunch because typically, well, not all the time, but sometimes I will tag some seriously trending hashtags, in which NFT was one of them at the time for voice work, etc. John Chiplock himself, like the voice of, and mind, I didn't tag him. This was a completely organic encounter. He's also the voice of Rayvali, the one bird fellow from The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, and many other big voices. He came out in like the most professional way possible, more or less just giving me like a very non-aggressive cautionary tale to say, hey man, love the voice. Well, he didn't say this, but this is me like paraphrasing, but saying, hey, love the voice over idea, go for your goals. But more or less just let you know, this sort of thing is like splitting these communities. And this included Gianni Matagrano, Kira Buckland. Like this included all kinds of people like that. Didn't tag them. It was completely organic. And it really made me think about some projects in which him and I afterwards had a great series of messages back and forth about all the endeavors. It was an awesome encounter. And that really made me think twice about things.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I like with the artists I work with. I work in a very different style than what a lot of them are used to. But like I have this great reputation through like Fiverr and just organically through Twitter because of it. And a lot of them are like, I get anytime I mention any idea for a new project that I'm working on, if I don't give any specifics, I get like 20, 30 DMs from people now going, it's like, are you looking at this? Are you considering an NFT with this? Are you just looking for the? It's like, it's just like half of them are all NFT ones, which is the most annoying part.
Mm.
Can I just interrupt and say fuck you, Dorian?
Oh, what's up?
I'm not. I'm just ignoring that crack from him.
It's a good
Oh,
one.
oh, I did notice that too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an
I
inside
will
joke.
not validate it with a comment.
Oh, I will. Fuck you, dude.
But yes, we have
Oh.
those two new emotes that I put in there, and then we also have our first animated one. It's a recreation of a one from in my first MMORPG that I ever played back in 1995.
Okay.
Good old Combat Cloud.
I posted you a link to the thing I was trying to tell you about earlier. Basically, Twitter has like the profile picture that is relies on NFTs, but apparently the way it works is
Show off
it
your prized possession. Set your profile picture to an NFT you own connecting to your crypto wallet.
yeah, but here's the thing. It only checks basically. It doesn't check the wallet the way you think it does. So basically, you can upload shit to it and basically claim you own it. So you can like display your profile picture to
Right
someone
click,
else's
save, upload.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's just like the whole entire dystopian thing about all of this is that like even if you have it in your wallet, even if it is on a blockchain, the second either one of two things, you are like compromised or trade it in any given scenario in that case, you don't own it anymore. So that's the thing. I mean, granted, you never owned it to begin with, but especially in that case, like, you don't own it anymore. It's going to create this future dystopian question of like who even owns anything in that regard for that particular stuff.
Oh, the part that I hate is you're just buying a spot on the blockchain. You're not really getting anything of real value.
See,
like,
what if
at
you could
least
store?
Just
What if you could store like executables that actually did something rather than just an image? Because then that would actually provide some kind of value.
There actually is something that I'll totally disclose that I put out there as part of my itinerary a long time ago. This was actually back in September, I want to say, of last year, in which as I was a part of some crypto and NFT Twitter Spaces, like the whole thing on Twitter called Spaces. One person in particular, after I did some performing with some voice work, just amongst like hundreds of people, one person in particular did hit me up for an NFT project called the Template Project. Now, what these were are basically GIF images. It was myself, Michael Lennox, an ex-Marvel artist making all the artwork, one of his buddies doing the animation, and Alex Shadow himself doing all the technical work for this, in which we took 5 movie properties: Jaws, 2001 A Space Odyssey, King Kong Godzilla, and Shogun Assassin, and I did all kinds of voice work for all of them, which more or less these are interactable GIF images that play my voice and play out specific animations. They were not just images. That's the one thing I've seen so far that was part of that was different from otherwise just being JPEGs, and that was it.
Yeah. No, that sounds a lot more valuable, at least in theory, than just an image of Jack Dorsey's first tweet on Twitter.
Oh no! Oh yeah, because that's how I think that was the actual inception of it, right? I think.
God. It was among the first of like the stupid shit to happen. Yeah. It just makes me cringe.
Oh no, yeah, it's you know what? It's funny. One thing that Bree mentioned that about the principle about what all of this means, and that across crypto in general, not just the NFT scene, like cryptocurrencies across the board for as long as they've been around. The one sole principle as to what all of it is meant to do, well, really two things, but there's ultimately one goal in mind. One, it cuts out the middleman of making money, and two, it is meant to make you money. So when you put it in a form in which it's has no, even though they're called non-fungible tokens, they really are fungible in some sort of way. They are useless, but they are valuable to somebody else. Major end quotes there. In which that can get you money, can earn you money in the future, but will it? It's like the Pokemon very late 90s, early 2000s popsicle empty folded up box. It was like a really old branded popsicle branded box. It was just the empty box folded up that sold for $2,000. Now the thing is, for someone to resell that and earn more is exponentially harder than getting it when it was a base price a long time ago, which is where I see a major problem with what NFTs are, where somebody that pays millions for one, how are you ever going to sell that and make bank off of it again? Because they're not going to organically earn growth like how Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, Hex, you name it, other cryptos in which over time they've earned value, but these will not inherently earn value on their own, just sitting there doing nothing.
Well, one of the first people when it first started to be a thing, tried to explain it to me as he kept comparing it to trading cards, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, baseball, football cards, all that. I'm just like, yes, but you actually have a physical copy, something you can actually. This you don't actually have the rights to an actual physical thing that can actually change hands. It's just a spot in the stupid blockchain.
That would be pretty cool though if you could say like have your Yu-Gi-Oh deck stored digitally where you can confirm that you have those cards, so you don't have to ruin your actual fucking cards to go play like Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duels that just dropped this week. Sneaking that one in there, Bree.
Well, that was always one of the things. I don't know if you guys remember the old TV show Chaotic.
Yes.
Yes.
That was, kind of piggybacking on the whole Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon. They had that unique code for each card, where if you traded it, that card was gone digitally, but you still had the physical one. But you couldn't use it anymore online. So you had the rights to it, but you had both a digital and a physical copy, and you could do one with one and something else with the other. But if you traded the physical one, that person that got the physical one still couldn't use the digital one because you already traded it away. And I found that rather fascinating because that's kind of a nice system. I kind of wish that NFTs went around more that route, because there you actually have real value and actual real results that are happening, not this hypothetical hopeful bullshit.
Yeah, it seems like it's just based upon your imagination. Like, and that sucks. We already have money like that. It's called like the dollar.
And for what you described, Bree, with Chaotix, because like Pokemon TCG has done something similar, but you're saying on the card itself, it had like a code on it, or is it its own separate card for
an
the code?
Actual code on the card that was unique just to that one card.
Huh.
No
so
other
I wonder,
person would have a duplicate of that card.
Because I wonder then if Pokemon TCG started doing something similar to what you described with Chaotic, but I want to say in like the later 2000s, when they came out with their game client known as Pokemon Trading Card Game Online, in which pretty much as soon as that game was, I think, as soon as the inception of that game began, this goes over 10 years ago in like the later 2000s, every
Mhm.
Pokemon product that you bought along or from that game onwards with its release date, whether it was a tin, a deck, booster pack, you name it, as long as it was a sealed, proper official product that had the support for Pokemon Trading Card Game Online, or TCGO for short, there then is inside a QR code or a physical like or alphanumeric code inside, in which you can take that, put it onto the game, and you get the exact same product in that game. Not the same cards necessarily, but just a digital version of that. It was a 2-for-1 for buying the same. And mind you, like these prices have not gone up for like the physical like products themselves, but you more or less get two ways for bang for your buck, in which they can then be traded in the economies of those games for no further money.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's like I'm gonna grab just a copy of the picture here of one of them. I'm gonna pop this in Discord just for you
Okay.
guys to see. I'll put it in the gaming channel. But this is
Cool.
an example of what one of those looked like.
Oh, let's see here.
And it had a code at the
Huh.
bottom, generated,
Oh wow.
Yeah, I remember these.
and
I
each
never
one
played
was
this game
unique
though.
to that printed card. And the point was that the characters could have slightly different stats based on the different releases. So, like, this character may have a slightly boosted stat in one, slightly reduced in another in the next sort of expansion, because maybe in the story something happened to him. And so you would have this nice variation, or within each expansion, you could have a bunch of cards that are all the same but have different codes, but then at the same time, you could have variations within the same expansion. You could claim this card was from early expansion versus late expansion, but you got it despite in this booster pack, but you got the other one in this booster one, and it would force you to kind of have to think strategically which version of the card is going to be better for which fight, all that goofy shit.
Oh.
I
This
always
came
thought
out in
that
what,
was
2005, I think.
oh, it was a long time ago. I still
see.
have all the TV episodes stashed away somewhere on VHS.
Seriously?
Wait, let me see. Wait, 2007.
Nice.
I recorded all of them just because I actually really enjoyed the thing. I used to have some of the cards, and then right around the time my significant other's mom was passing away, I sold them all and made probably, what, 20% profit?
That's not bad.
No, I
And
didn't
it
think
looks
so.
like 2007 was when that game began, the TCG.
People just loved it so much, and so it's like, you know what? Yeah, it's kind of an original concept for how to handle digital and physical media side by side at the same time. And so when I look at NFTs, I kind of think of it, it's like, boy, it'd be really nice if there was that sort of, here's an actual file that you can actually do something with, or a physical object you can do stuff with, and here's the other part. Where you can handle actual things. It'd be kind of like how people have been clamoring for Steam to allow you to sell your copies of your games.
Mm-hmm.
We actually feel like you have ownership, not just kind of the rights to play the game.
Yeah, that's been a problem for a while with software, especially with operating systems. If you remember.
Well, and with the whole, with gaming, especially less and less physical copies of games.
Oh yeah.
Like you can see behind me, right above my thumb, Ultima 5, Commodore 64 edition, complete. Still have it, but
There you go.
what good is it? Besides collector's item.
Yeah. Especially by now, a lot of those media. What medium is it on? It's a cassette tape or
Oh, it's the old 5.25-inch floppies.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool. Then yeah, it's probably dead by now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you described it as bit rot, right?
Bit rot. Yeah. Yeah. I was trying to get my dad to let me back up all his Amiga shit and all the Atari stuff, the like home computer Atari stuff, and just now all that stuff's just.
I wish
now.
I kept the Atari 2600's shit. I really
Well,
do.
but we still have the Atari what, XE. But it's my dad's house, and I gotta go find it and get it. It probably was still run, but I'm terrified of turning it on without like fire extinguisher around it just in case. It's pretty old. It's as old as I am, so. Well, maybe a little bit
I
younger.
wish
or
I
whatever.
had the ST Amiga or the Atari ST,
It's a cool computer.
but I unfortunately decided to sell it to a former coworker of my father, who's basically building a little museum in his basement of gaming and old computers and shit.
See,
He
I
actually
would
paid
really,
pretty well for it too. That's the surprising part.
I would really like an Amiga 1200 so I can get a expansion board for it, because that'd be pretty sweet. Or like the accelerator boards for it, so you can plug like USB and stuff into it. They're pretty rad. I just like the old Amiga 16-bit computers. They're freaking cool.
They were truly one of a kind.
Uh-huh.
And since you mentioned BitRot and something else, I'm gonna post something in the gaming channel for the Nintendo PlayStation when it was a prototype, where
Oh yeah.
where there really only allegedly one left after they were all ordered to be destroyed. I'm gonna find the video on this, where it looks more or less like an SNES, but it says Sony, or no, it's right. I think it says Nintendo PlayStation on it.
Nintendo PlayStation.
No,
It's a
no.
rather bizarre looking thing, but that actually is what it says. And I think
Where'd you
the
put this?
proper Sony branding name, like it looks the way how you would have expected Sony to look. Oh no, that's right. No, it actually says the Sony PlayStation, but it does look like more or less kind of like an SNES. Put it in the gaming thing. Here's the link.
I
It's
got all
here.
sorts of goofy shit in the gaming channel. Like, I'm
In
still
that, like,
surprised half the shit I find.
Didn't someone actually get software to run on this not so long ago?
probably this story when I watched this segment of the Giant Bombcast a long time ago, when the people that found this found it. I don't know if it eventually became sold, but they were talking about, okay, somebody needs to hire like a master class like engineering electrician to make sure that they do not blow it up trying to turn it on, like the absolute
That's
proper
my
AC
fear
adapter
with
for it.
my actual like first release SNES,
Oh wow,
because
okay.
it's like I don't
Hmm.
want to plug it in and turn it on because what if God forbid something dies?
Yeah, I've got all that Sega shit that I want to plug in. I keep my one Dreamcast good, and then I've got the Sega Genesis still works. I know it does. I plug it in every now and again. But like everything else, I ain't touching that.
Yeah, I just a little too chicken too.
Yeah, besides emulation for the Sega Genesis and like all that stuff is actually pretty good. Even the
Yeah.
Saturn with modern graphics cards, Saturn emulation's finally like getting better.
Nice.
I still have
Yeah.
one of those old combo NES SNES ones, so I can always use that with
What?
cartridges if I want.
Was that official, or was that?
No,
no.
it was some
Oh,
third
okay.
party
I was
one.
gonna say because I'm like, if that was official, I've never heard of that. An NES SNES combination
Oh
unit.
no. There's a ton
No,
of
no,
those
we
things.
wanted them to, but multiple companies did ones over the years because a lot of people either with the SNES, the power brick went, and those were
Oh
a
yeah,
pain in the ass. I forget why with the NES. I think it was just people kind of got rid of theirs when they got the SNES, and so they
there
were
were I'm sure
idiots.
a fair amount that did that. Like the Super Nintendo and the N64, they barely did backwards compatibility. In which the SNES, you had the Super. No, that's right. It was the Super Game Boy, in which I believe that only played Game Boy games, not Game Boy Color though.
No.
In which for the N64, the only six, yeah, the only six games, and or rather, I'm considering only North American units and PAL. Not sure about Japanese though. The only six games you can play on that thing that are not N64 games are Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, and Crystal through your transfer pack through Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2. Those are the only other six games, not N64 games,
Actually,
that you can play on 64.
there was one more. There's a horse
Oh,
racing game where you can actually connect a Game Boy Color to the basically it's there's a horse racing like Game Boy Color game, and then there's also the N64 version, and you can plug it in.
I've never heard of that. Is it a horse
Horse racing one?
racing game?
It's a Japanese horse racing game, yeah.
I'll look that up too. Japanese horse racing game, N64.
Yeah, there's like it basically works kind of like the Sonic Adventure 2, or like Sonic
Oh,
Adventure content for like the Game Boy Advance. Kind of works like that. So I don't know much about it. I remember hearing about that though. Basically, it has cross compatibility with Game
huh.
Boy Color game.
This must have been really. Wait, was this Japanese only? This Derby Stallion? Oh, that's why I don't recognize it. Okay.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah, because
Huh.
I know you could use the Game Boy Color to like for as a screen for some fucking reason. There is a
Wow.
yeah.
Honestly,
Perfect
I
Dark.
kind of missed my Game Boy Color because there was one game on there that I just adored.
Perfect Dark was supposed to be a Game Boy Color game as well. That was
Oh,
supposed to be
yeah,
cross compatible.
that did. Oh, that's right. That ended up coming out, and it's funny you mentioned that about the Game Boy Color being able to be used on the N64 because
Mm.
they did that as a parallel with with Animal Crossing on the GameCube with the Game Boy Advance through a specific link cable, which we were able
Oh
to
yeah.
unlock further content with that game specifically with the Game Boy Advance also.
Oh yeah, I've still got mine for Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle because of course I do. Because I love my Chow Gardens.
I know, best side game thing I've ever done in my life. Period. Nothing
Oh
has
yeah.
quite come close to that, honestly.
Oh yeah. Like it has longevity that far extends the enjoyment of the game.
Oh, it does. Like years
Mhm.
later, even. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I want to bring it back. Like it's so cute. Ah, think about getting a copy of PSO. Was it PSO 2 where you can get the Tails Chow? I know one of the GameCube.
Oh, is that how you do it?
Yeah, you have to download it from a mission. Just so you have to have a Game Boy Advance to do it. When you beat a specific mission, you get a Tails Chow, and then you can download it to the Tiny Chow Garden, and then swap it over to Sonic Adventure or Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Oh wait, was that the only way to do it, or did you just have to give your Chow an influence of only fly animals or flying Chaos
No,
Drive?
you can only get it that way.
Oh wow,
Hmm.
huh?
Yep, and then there's an Amy Chow too, but like I forget how to get that one.
Because in that
But
case, the YouTube videos that I've seen were probably, and this goes years ago. The YouTube videos that I've seen have probably been potentially cheated footage, maybe of them, because a lot of them I bet probably didn't have those peripherals.
I know that there is a modded version of the Chow Garden, but I think it's for the only the HD PC releases. But
Oh, like on Steam?
I think so. I want to go
Huh?
check that. Yeah, I want to go check that out because they have some really cool mods like stat modifiers, and they have like things like friendships and things like that for the Chow. So they'll like hold hands and do all sorts of cutesy
Oh,
shit.
that's
Yeah,
cute.
yeah. So I want to check. I would definitely want to check that out because that sounds like fun to just extend and then. I love that. I love that mode so much. It's one of my favorite modes too. I love virtual pet games.
Chow Karate and Chow Race.
Hmm. I always wanted to get the Tamagotchi for the PS1.
Oh, a Tamagotchi game for the PS1.
Yeah, I used to read a lot of Games Master back in the day, and they would always have import games, and that was one of the ones they reviewed.
Oh wow. Hmm.
Yeah, like because then you can just play it on your own time. You don't have to have it with you at school. You know, getting you in trouble in your math teacher's class.
Man, honestly, the more and more that I discover about I see a Sony one. That's crazy. Um, the more and more I discover and see of this, really makes me observe how much of the way, even more exponentially so, how much gaming has gone to the wayside in terms of quality
Mm,
or yeah, in terms of like quality of service stuff.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
it is absolutely insane.
Like that pit keeps going deeper and deeper, honestly, of those expectations and seeing what we've come from.
In some ways, it's a little saddening.
Oh, for me, it's like abhorrently vicious. Oh yeah, like very saddening. Because it's funny when this might, I want to say maybe like the early 2010s is when well, I mean, of course, it did begin before that, but that's the time that I observed that gaming companies really started to push more digital content, do more DLC, do more expansions. But then, as soon as, well, not as soon, but once we started to observe more of that happen over time, more and more games getting pushed earlier for release, unfinished, in which over time I have observed it is such a damn shame witnessing what online capabilities have been able to do, but for the most part has been such a lackluster performance of it has been being taken advantage of for the wrong reasons, completely the wrong reasons, whether it has been microtransactions, unfinished games, completely rushed games just to meet a deadline, in which looking at what the stuff was in the past, despite this being an offline resource, the Tamagotchi stuff, Chow Gardens and Sonic games, it has like completely done a total 180 in that regard, in which the idea for what an online service is to be, as far as giving more, give now you're playing with power, giving more to the player overall, that has been for years now being completely thrown to the wayside completely, as far as it trying to be an enriching experience overall.
Yeah, like I'm thinking about developing a game for some time. I talk about it fairly often. And I do sometimes game coding on the stream. I've been thinking about like how you would even release a game that has online content these days. Like you couldn't really do a physical release because of all the complexities and the cost involved. Really, the industry has moved towards streaming and content and whatnot, and cloud-based gaming and all sorts of stuff because it's been necessary for multiplayer and aspects like that. Um, and just because of things like cheating and stuff like that, you have to have a lot of it online. So I can understand why companies want to go with microtransactions and just the subscription model because it does cost them per month to run shit. But like on the other hand, it just fuck man. I like my physical releases, but I guess I'm
Oh,
old
sure.
and stupid, right?
Absolutely. Same thing with the N64 stuff that I have here for the unit itself.
Yeah, it's sad to see, but like on the other hand, like people have been predicting this forever. I mean, we're just going back
Oh,
to
yeah.
we're going back to the mainstream and dumb terminal paradigm the tech industry used to have years and years and years ago because it's more cost effective and whatnot in terms of like you control the servers and your content, so how people are going to steal it, and you can charge by the month or whatever, right, and make more money in the longer run.
Well, speaking of sort of expected and repeatable, Microsoft buying Blizzard, Activision, and a lot of these big ones buying up smaller ones. Like when BioWare was bought and other ones. We kind of always keep going in the circle where big publishers will buy a bunch of studios, and that continues for a while, and then we have an era with a bunch of small studios all creeping up again, and then it repeat, or like ones will break off and leave,
Hmm.
and then it repeats. A bunch of them are bought again. It's like consolidate, innovate, consolidate, innovate, consolidate, innovate, and it just keeps repeating. Like in the late 70s, early 80s, we had all those small ones, and then slowly they were bought over time by EA and other ones, and then it just we've been in this circle, and it's just kind of like, ugh, enough already. Can we just move on?
Yeah, I was anticipating a crash years ago, and I think it's going to crash even harder than it did before.
It's gonna happen inevitably. It's starting to bubble a little bit.
Only a
Oh,
little bit.
yeah.
Well,
Speaking of crypto and equity markets, that has begun,
We
actually.
had the housing
Um,
bubble that popped
mhm,
eventually.
2008. Yep.
With gaming and tech, that's going to eventually happen. We had phone bubble burst when Bell was split up, and now we're getting that more and more. Same with ISPs. The whole Shadowrun Megacorp thing it just seems inevitable at this point. I
oh
always
yeah,
find it funny how fictional worlds seem to predict reality better than Hollywood. Like, for some reason, gaming people with their creativity somehow seem to inevitably be better with it. I don't know why. If
A
anyone in chat
movie.
can figure that out, I'll give the sub because I can't figure it out still after 30 odd years.
well maybe it's because Hollywood are a bunch of fucking hacks, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. That's just my opinion. My opinion's worthless, you know.
No, that's too obvious. There's got to be something more to it. It can't be that
Nah,
simple.
no.
Although you have to admit, like, some of the time they do actually really do succeed. Like the Dread film back in 2012, amazing. The new
Oh yeah.
Dune one, if they give us a director's cut and put actually all those deleted scenes that we really need for good storytelling, like the sci-fi version did, the newest Dune would be the best Dune movie ever made. Like Hollywood can be successful. They just for some reason make really dumb choices for seemingly no reason.
Now, how much for the NFT of the movie of Dune?
Oh, what was it? 2.6 million. Oh, for
No,
that
for the
one.
movie
Or yeah.
though. Yeah, that was just for the book
Hmm.
this time.
They would probably go as far as 20 million plus, probably.
Okay, because I want my receipt to say that I own the receipt.
Which is also vaporware. That receipt in and of itself. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I just had because of the whole Dune thing, I had to bring that up. Sorry.
with the
continue.
theming from movies, the one thing, like the one best example that I can think of with movies that either mistakenly or accidentally predict or purposely predict on the future, the one thing that I can think of is Demolition Man from 1993. There are a lot of things going on in that film that, not right away, of course, but later on became like very true as to how we well, not to a T exactly, but Skype calling, cars, not that they float yet or fly, but we're getting there as far as like something practical.
We can hope at least.
Oh yeah, but that'll be its own problem out of itself, because a long time ago I listened to a few of the podcasts where Neil deGrasse Tyson was on with Joe Rogan, in which Neil, even though Joe didn't wants to have flying cars, Neil a good chunk of the time was telling him and trying to convince him why you don't want flying cars, because it's adding another unit of space and a three-dimensional space you can't control, with it being a free floating. Well, you know how that goes, but yeah.
I just want that safety cum that, like, you know, in Demolition Man where he like slams the thing and the safety cum. Like,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
they gave it a
they get
name. I forget the name.
They get just safety cum. They get bukkakied and they're safe again. Right?
I
Like,
was actually almost wondering if you're going to say Idiocracy, because that certainly feels like that happens.
oh god, yeah, that one's a documentary at this point. I was telling someone about Carl's Jr. the other day because I fucking unironically like Carl's Jr. This stream is not sponsored by them, and yeah, like they're a prominent theme in that movie for some fucking reason. I don't understand why that is, other than the tie-in. Obviously, it's so fucking funny. So everyone thinks I'm into it because of the movie. I'm like, no, I just like them completely incidentally. It just so happens they're also in that movie that's really funny.
It's true. It's
Oh
very
god.
true.
And the dinosaurs with the little fucking flags. Oh god, it's so fucking great. Can't. Why don't I own a copy of that movie? I'm just realizing how fucking stupid I am to not having that.
Of Dune or of a
yes.
Demolition Man?
Both, actually. I do not have a copy of Demolition
Okay.
Man.
I own all the copies of Dune, including the books, the movies, soundtracks, all
The
of it.
NFT.
No, I fucking refuse NFTs. Fuck that shit.
I was just saying,
will
where's
never be fucking tied to that bullshit. That is the
I was
stupidest
just saying, Bree,
motherfucking
you
shit.
hiding $2.66 million from me this whole time, bitch.
Oh my god. If I did that, I would ask you to shoot me.
Oh no, I would do it without you having asked, trust me.
And two of the better acronyms for how you can go about calling what NFTs are. Two of the better ones that I've seen has been no fucking thank you, and also non-functioning testicles.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's pretty good for what the idea of that is.
How
That's
about
pretty good.
nice fucking titties?
There you go. That's much better.
Twitch is gonna ban us now, Bree. I'm sorry.
I'm just kind of enjoying reading this one email from this company where it's like, well, it shows up this way, but it doesn't show up this way. And like, are you accurate? Are you giving us the right info? Does this belong to you, or does it belong to this other person? It's like, well, I'm the same person. It's like, that was the legal name that's still tied to that because the state court decided to fuck shit up. Like, stop being so dumb. Just process the fucking payment and be done with it.
Oh no, no. I'm learning about stuff like that because of the venture I'm trying to get into, and no, you're always held up as human stupidity, no matter how automated you get shit. It's true. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's always a weak link in something. Usually.
Oh yeah, no, it's
The weak link in this case is somebody with a brain that unfortunately I don't think has a working one. That's really fucking sad, but whatever.
Oh yeah, the mind is a terrible thing to waste.
oh well. Sorry. Can I do my sponsor thing or my not sponsor thing?
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I was just like, you know what? You mentioned the
Fuck
magic
you, Dorian.
word. You should fucking say it now.
Okay, cool. All right, so, Bree, do you want to lead me in with why I'm doing a not sponsorship fucking thing where I'm just recommending
so we
a product?
had Raid Shadow Legends offer sponsorship, and I said no for obvious reasons. For those of you need me to explain it, I regretfully wish to slap your parents and tell them they should never have had kids. I said no, obviously. The sponsor we mentioned last time, they did the cool thing for the back of my phone. It didn't work out. I didn't like the terms. So Frozen just decided that she wishes to mention a product that she actually likes and uses.
Yeah, this is not a sponsorship. Like, they haven't paid for this shit. This is my actual opinion of something. So check this out. I bought me a Ridge wallet, and I fucking love it, right? It's thin as fuck, right? Low profile, very high tension on the elastic. I got the money clip option, which holds lots and lots of money. It can hold a fuckload of cards. Very easy to use. Fucking NFC fucking proof because it's made of like metal, built really well, and you can customize the shit out of it. So love it. Highly recommend. I use DZ's code because, like, I think I mentioned that. I know there's someone
Pretty
else.
much everyone I know that has one loves theirs. So
Yeah, no, I fucking love it. Like, I've dropped it like n number of times. Just gonna do it right now. Nothing happened.
with
Like,
my phone, I have one of those wallet type cases that
Mm.
I will often use instead of the one that I showed last time when I'm out and about. And I just really like it because it's comfortable and easy to use, and I don't have to carry a stupid purse around if I don't want.
So the money clip popped out just a tiny bit, but I just, like, whatever, that's fine. Like, I've got a shit ton of cash in here, so there you go. I highly
Cash for me,
recommend it.
right?
Yep. No, fuck you, bitch. That's cash for my drugs, my titty drugs.
At first, earlier, I thought you said it's NFT proof, and I'm like, yes, it is. Absolutely.
NFC, yeah, it's NFC proof as
NFC.
well, but yeah,
Yeah.
NFC, yeah, because people can like totally steal your shit with like fucking RF and whatnot. So don't do that shit. Like, they can just, get yourself a metal wallet. Um, better than the clamshell one. Pain in the ass to customize. Gonna say that right now. Fuck it, because they're not giving me money. But on the other hand, like, once I got it done, it was done. So, and love it. So highly recommend. If someone's got like a discount code, just go ahead and use theirs, because I ain't got one to give you bitches. So
A lot of
that's
people
my
have discount codes for that one. I can't think of who I would run on a recommend because
I would do Wendigoon or Dzeef my recommendations, because like Dzeef's cute and I want to give him
Oh,
a
wait,
head pat.
DZ's a Yu-Gi-Oh guy, right?
He's a Yu-Gi-Oh guy, yeah.
I thought so, because
And
I'm like, wait, the name sounds familiar. Yeah.
I haven't watched him in a while, but I do catch up with his stuff. I just I've been busy.
I haven't watched Dual Logs or Davinator 1212 in ages.
Yeah, I've
honestly,
been
I
busy.
love the fact that Ridge has been doing some Twitch streamers lately on top of the YouTubers. Like they seem to be kind of stepping up. But I will say the whole Ridge wallet thing of not having a wallet in the back pocket, but a lot of guys are appreciating that.
That's why I like the low profile for real. Like, I have a lot of cards in here.
Like I feel like obviously being trans, I can understand, but like that was something about being a guy that sucked. Is always having that wall in the back seat where you kind of just.
Oh yeah, that will. So even though I haven't done that personally, but that will really fuck up your pelvic girdle over time. Absolutely, because of the imbalance.
I'm just thinking of my butt looking cute. Fucking Dorian.
Chat. Is it really all that surprising that she would do that? Actually, don't answer that. We don't need an answer.
So yeah, I would rather buy my a Bridge wallet, right? Buy one, than play Raid Shadow Legends ever, because then you have to play the fucking game to actually recommend it, because
Okay,
they like have
let me go through
shit.
the games I actually have on my phone. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
We have the Steam Authenticator, the Battle.net login for seeing who's online. We have Cribbage, Hearthstone, Race for the Galaxy, which is a tabletop game that I actually like. We actually did a mobile version of that. And Tropico. That's it.
I got nothing on my phone because I don't play games.
Same here, actually.
I barely have any games. Cribbage is there because waiting for the doctor. Yeah, I'll play a game or two of Cribbage. Tropico is nice when I'm dealing with family because I can sit there and play Tropico and ignore family.
See, I bring my little Atari, I got one of those like at games Atari handhelds. Unlike the Genesis ones, they're actually pretty decent. And I just take that with me on like flights and
I always
stuff like
don't
that.
bother to bring the Switch because it's bigger and cumbersome, and it's like I don't want to bring an extra thing along. ever.
I'm gonna Switch, so I don't give a shit. So
For the Switch, when I first saw that so like having it in undocked mode, having the charging unit, like the female portion of it being on the bottom of the Switch, I'm like, oh, that's awful. Actually,
It is
you can't
absolutely
properly have it
terrible.
stand up or like to an extent even lay it down properly and have so. Of course, this goes back years and years when I used to have like GBA, Game Boy Advance, SP, etc. But you can't even really properly like so. For example, laying down in your bed, chest like towards the bed, laying down that way with your head up. You can't even really properly use it like that and charge it with the cable being in your way. You can't lay down the cable really because you might pull it out suddenly. In which like
Well, that's
to
why I did what
have
I
it on the
did. Is
bottom
I
of me
took
is
some
still cumbersome.
I took some sheet metal. I made a stand, just a simple, kind of slightly angled, the flat one, and then on the front, I made two little sort of things for it to sit on with a gap in between, so you can have the cable go up between the gap, and then it can sit there at just a slight angle, and you can have the controllers in your hands.
Okay.
But that requires you to actually make something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a pain in the ass.
Mhm.
Like nobody should have to actually like craft something.
Oh, and as far as making something, the OLED model, again, so like, I get why Nintendo has done this for years, in which they make a unit that is technically the same thing, albeit even is marginally upgraded. But the only real differences with this thing are maybe better intuitive uses of the Joy-Cons, whereas the first round of Joy-Cons for those Switches were either not working or having lots of hardware problems altogether. It just has an Ethernet jack natively in the unit. It didn't have it before, in which it also has an OLED screen, so it's technically like a glossier. The Switch is also a little bit bigger, but marginal at best. In which the only person it's really for is if you never had a Switch ever and you want to get one. It's only really for that one person.
I don't see the point of having an Ethernet jack on something that is supposed to be portable, but that's just me.
Mm. Well, there's that. I mean, like having it docked and like playing online games, like that would be the way to do it. But otherwise, you actually have to get, and Amazon sells them for cheap and they work well. But you actually have to get a very specifically branded Ethernet adapter. Not just any one works for the Switch, which it plugs into the USB when it's docked. Granted, they're like $10 or cheap, but not any one works, unfortunately.
What in the absolute fuck? All right.
It's
Oh, I
so
know.
fucking
Even
annoying.
that part is proprietary, which is silly, which is really silly.
You'll need to stop saying docked. No.
Mhm, yeah.
No, I like it docked.
Honestly, I'm so sick of proprietary bullshit that it doesn't
Mhm.
need to be.
Proprietary power supplies are the worst things for like pre-built PCs. Very shitty. Even if they're
Dorian, we're
strong,
gonna
like as
keep
far as their
saying
wattage goes.
docked because
Docked, yeah.
docking
Ah,
is gonna be something that I will say a bunch just to fucking annoy you because I can.
so hot though, docking.
The first time I ever really heard that term being used in an industry, this is a weird thing, but Windows 8 natively had this weird software digital feature built into Windows of like docking and undocking your laptop. I think it had I think it had to be specifically a Windows 8 or 8.1 laptop, in which there was actually like this weird software docking feature to get it out of like it was an extremely proprietary thing, but it had this weird use case. And the only reason why you would use this is if you did the one thing I can think of would be like docking it into a particular display for maybe like medical industry stuff in a hospital, maybe that. But it had to do with there was a specific digital way to like dock it in and out of a device that took it out. I can't even describe it completely myself, but it had to do with making your screen display one way or another, being docked or undocked from a proprietary device, both ways which are proprietary. It was an extremely niche thing, one of the most niche things I've seen in software / hardware ever. In which one of my buddies that used to work for Microsoft, he himself never actually found a use for it, and then not one use case for it.
Oh,
I mean-
Hellbent started streaming finally. We mentioned him earlier. He's doing the
Dang.
God of War PC part.
Mm.
Honestly, I'm kind of half tempted to get that. Not gonna lie.
Looking back on it, I'm surprised they didn't call it God of 4.
That's bad. See,
That is pretty
Jeez.
bad. Really,
that was
really,
terrible.
really
Why did
bad.
we invite you onto the stream, dude?
Thanks for having me.
No, it's all good.
You're fired.
No, it's actually good to have a guest on finally. Like we
Yeah.
wanted to do this earlier, but I guess season 2 is probably best for that.
we got so caught up in life stuff last year that there really wasn't time for us to kind of figure some of that out.
Dude, I'm still caught up in life stuff now. I haven't done like a
Like,
stream on my channel
Soph
for a
would be
while.
fun to have, but her schedule's so awkward and shifting, where it'd be next to impossible to get her decently. So it's kind of at the point where it's like, you know what? Whatever. Honestly, I need to just get back into actually streaming regularly, but the problem with that is trying to actually find the time to stream regularly.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my IT certification done because I've been doing that since October. I'm about 50% through, and once I'm done with that, I want to get out of this place so I can set up I want to move and get a place where I can set up a room for streaming, and that's where I'm investing a lot of my my effort at the moment because I can't do any of that while I'm still studying because that takes all my time. Well, not all my time, but it takes a good portion of my free time. I have to do it tomorrow, and then I have to go teach afterwards, which sucks. I mean, it doesn't suck to teach, but like a lot of my time is just dedicated to studying stuff and doing streaming on any platform. It's just not viable for a little while until I get that cleared. Like shit, I want to do. I'm working on like ventures with people. I talked to Charles actually about a lot of stuff. Get his awesome gear, which is hopefully going well.
Yeah, I got the 3D model that's finally starting to wrap up. I got to start testing this stupid iPhone 13 that I have up here that I'm borrowing to see if the AR kit actually works right with it.
And I'm glad you mentioned IT certifications, as there are some things that I can't disclose right now, but there are more projects that I'm going to be tackling
Nice.
once we get reestablished with full-time work as well. Because that part of it, and this is just on a personal note, but with me having realized more of my reasons for being here on this earth, with voice talents, with IT, etc., it made me realize I had to leave movies, collectibles, and games to the wayside. It made me realize that I had to at this point in my life. In which from there, I'm glad to mention that, Frozen, because I put down IT certifications also, which I can definitely do that within this year. Absolutely.
No,
Well, that was
it's a
one of the
good time to
reasons
get them.
why I stepped away from streaming for years. Was I was taking care of my grandma-in-law for years. I didn't really want to stream at a lower resolution than everyone else, but like I did a little bit of goofy voice acting shit for funny stuff for one mobile game that I was part of back in the day. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, no, I'd rather do all these fun things than try to deal with all that other stuff and just be like, yeah, no, not worth it.
Yeah.
Like it's fun to have all these projects that you're working on doing because it's like it's so much more satisfying.
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm working on my ventures so I can actually get to some of the stuff that I enjoy because I'm busy working like a lot. I signed up for that, so I can only blame myself. But still, it would be nice to be able to make an income doing something else other than just working.
Well, absolutely. Having some side hustles is absolutely not necessarily mandatory for everybody, but to me that's how I interpret that stuff. Where it's even just having one side hustle to me is a really mandatory thing, if you ask me personally. Not necessarily to make ends meet, like as the ultimate end goal, but just to have extra money like that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I talked to a lot of the Uber drivers and like Lyft drivers around here because apparently I'm not maybe not a main character in this anime, but like at least one of the supporting characters because I keep getting noticed by the same drivers. I've had the same driver like 3 times now, and it's like, oh, it's you again, right?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I do all the fashion and makeup stuff. It's
But, like,
that
yeah,
extra money helps pay for medical bills.
it's
It's
just
really
that tiny
nice.
little bit. It adds up,
Oh
So
yeah, that pays literally for just my estrogen alone, basically.
mhm.
Which that's freaking amazing.
Yeah, like whatever it is you got to do it, like get it done.
And honestly, it's more fun than a day job. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm trying to do like cloud stuff as my day job, but
Not that the
that takes
clients
a
aren't
lot.
fun. The clients are actually fun. It's just
Hey.
the people I work for kind of suck. But they're getting up there in years, so maybe I'll just take over all of it and then they can retire.
Retire, Bree.
Retire.
Yeah,
AKA they disappear off the face of the God's green earth.
yeah. Some horrible things might happen to them, or might not, but typically it happens to them eventually. It will.
A mysterious. No.
See, I'm skirting the line with Twitch. You know me, right? Like you show some wrist, you say the wrong fucking word, they'll like
Have some wrist. Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah, some wrist. Yeah. Oh, Twitch, I'm
Uh-huh.
showing some ankle. Holy
Mhm.
shit.
Yeah, stop showing so much dang ankle. What's wrong with you? Oh my
I
God,
know,
you
it's-
freaking whore.
1920s.
I like my Amish butter, not my Amish streaming platforms, right? Like for real.
Oh.
It's so, but yeah, like you can't mention certain words, so you know, you gotta be,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't wanna, I don't wanna be, I don't wanna be talking about that for too long.
Oh, yeah, docked. Can't say that. No.
Oh, you can't? Oh, well, we said it like 70 times.
Oh, no, I know, yeah.
Docked and docked. Docking, ducked, and
Oh.
more ducker.
Oh, Docker, yeah, I can't. There's certain like programming stuff I can't use without giggling, and Docker is one of them. Which is like,
Yeah, I know. That's why I figured I mentioned that version of it because it's still funny.
I can't save my favorite one on Twitch because they'll ban us for it.
Oh, okay.
I'll type it to you guys.
Okay.
You'll understand
Well-
why when I put it.
Absolutely will not say
They'll
it.
only ban it if they actually
I
find
can
out
just-
about it.
Oh, in which channel?
In the stream chat channel. Hang on, there we go.
Okay.
This one. This basically is a type, basically a programming construct that allows you to take one concept and apply it to another. It's like a translation kind of thing, but not really. Actually, no, I don't.
Oh,
I
is
don't
this
even want to.
in-
I don't even want to Google it. Because if I Google it, I just know it's going to come up with a whole bunch of shit. I'm gonna put on a watch list for it or something.
Oh, do I not have access to a certain channel to see it?
Oh.
No, he
not?
doesn't have access to the stream chat.
Ah. Okay, but did you see it, Bree?
Yes.
Okay.
I
Can you explain
completely
it better
forgot
than me?
about it.
You forgot about that? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, here, let me just.
Let's
DM
just
him.
say it's yeah, it's very it's kind of relevant to my interests.
Okay. I see it now. Huh.
Golem. Oh, Golem Dragon. Yes, that's you.
Dust.
Someone mentioned you. Yeah, that one.
Hey,
I don't remember
Drax.
that one.
Hope you're doing well, hon.
Howdy.
Drax is one of my fellow Ultimate Dragons.
Hi.
Which I have been around far too damn long.
Yay.
I don't know why I put up with all y'all, Drax. I really don't. Oh, there goes the last of the scotch for the night. Sorry, Chad. No more scotch. No more alcohol for me.
You said that I have to make sure that you don't drink any more scotch, even though there is no more scotch to drink.
Actually, technically, there's an unopened bottle, but I really shouldn't open that.
Actually, no, I got beer. Hang on, I'm gonna go grab a beer. Since you guys, like, I didn't even grab a beverage or nothing.
No, I'm just reading a note here from one person. Something interesting happened on her train ride back home, and it's like, oof.
Ooh, dude, I could drink this Dan Aykroyd frickin' Crystal Skull
Lady,
vodka.
I know what that is.
I do not know if Kong is your
awesome.
uncle or not, but I mean, he could be
who's
if
your
you
dad?
want.
Honestly, with my age now, I can see myself being misinterpreted as an uncle or a father.
Who's your daddy and
when
what does he do?
when the last of my daughters was alive, I was almost a grandma at my age. So
Okay.
before Chicago ended up killing her, stupid Chicago.
I have some Avery American Lager. It's 5%. By Avery Brewing from Boulder, Colorado.
Welcome, welcome, lady. Is Sparks.
Let me try this out. Cheers. It's highly drinkable.
Nice.
Yep,
The only
not bitter at
beer
all.
that I've had in a while would be Leinenkugel, but that's local. Beer.
Leinenkugel. No, I've had Leinenkugels. They're fucking good. Oh my
Well,
god, we used to.
They still
They make
make
summer shandy.
alcohol kind of a classic German way, so it's European beer made in America.
Yeah, I know. They got a summer
They
shandy.
don't do the stupid shit that
completely
Miller, Coors, and all
crushing.
these other ones fucking do. They're making piss water.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope you do as well, lady.
Oh yes, and
It's been
absolutely.
a wonderful week where I get to spend the past 3 nights with one of my oldest friends, someone I met 26 years ago gaming, and we've almost known each other 27 years. Come this fall, it's going to be 27 fucking years we've been friends.
Damn.
I
For how long I've been
know.
speaking to Frozen? Let me see. I want to
Yeah.
say like 7 years. Yeah, I want to say.
Time
We met.
flies. It's really weird how time flies.
Did we meet in 2015?
I feel like
It was
well,
2015,
I know
2016
the
time.
original like encounter was on Twitter over Yu-Gi-Oh stuff with Hysteric Fairy, and I want to say that was
I swear I gotta get that cosplay, by the way.
oh absolutely. I want to say that was definitely either one of 3 years, 2015, 16, or 17, but not later than that. I
It
want to
wouldn't have
say.
been. It wouldn't have been 17 because that was when I was focusing on a whole bunch of other shit. I think I also changed my avatar in 2017 because that was the last year I was on Twitter.
Then it probably was 2016 then, probably.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So about 6 years.
In fact,
Almost.
one
Yeah.
thing, Bree, that I found, this is the closest thing I've been able to find so far to the frozen dessert like pouch that I was trying to find. This is the closest thing that I could find so far. It's similar to the shape like this, but imagine both ends kind of looking like a triangle, kind of like a
Yeah.
pyramid.
I know what you're talking about. We
Mhm.
used to have these as a kid. You can get them in because I was in England, we can get them in blackcurrant flavor because everything comes in blackcurrant, and also orange and like lemon flavor. They're fucking good. They're basically like orange juice in a little thing, right?
Yeah, and it's like it hit, so part of it, not much of it, but part of it is like this juicy fluid, and the other half is like not completely frozen, but I mean, even though they must come out
Oh,
frozen, but they become chilled afterwards.
didn't. Oh, what was that stupid juice brand?
Fucking.
Yeah, the brand name, if I had that, I'd be able to find it for sure,
Minute
like
Maid.
without a doubt.
Minute
Was it
Maid.
Yes,
was it Minute Maid? Let me see.
It's probably
I
Minute Maid.
think so. I remember those,
Because if
and
they're juice
Actually, I think you
flavored,
might be
they
right.
probably.
Yes, these are it. These are fucking it right here. So glad that you said that. Yeah, because that
As a
form, that's kind of
historian, I will eventually remember shit. It just takes me a while to get there.
this thing that I'll message you in Frozen here. This is
yeah,
exactly it.
yeah. I remember these when we were talking about it in the
Yep,
pre-chat. I was like,
yep,
bro, I swear.
yep. Because those
Yeah,
were
these things.
international. Yep.
Yep.
Because they're
Oh
an
yeah, no.
international brand.
Yeah, we would shove them in the freezer and just like you do them like popsicles. They were freaking awesome.
Huh.
They would base just a whole like thing of frozen juice. So it's like,
I have to save
Cosmica's
that just for
emotes are
for
kind
having
of
it.
nice tracks. I like it.
okay.
Oh, which one? I'm sorry. What?
Oh, Drax put up a couple emotes.
Oh, cool.
I hadn't seen that streamers ones before, so I always enjoy seeing what other streamers have as emotes. I have a
I'll share a
number
few
of
here.
emote slots that I can use still, so I need to probably get off my ass and get some more made for people.
Oh, I really want one of those now, dude. You're killing me, Smalls.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I really want? One of those lemon ice ones.
Oh yes.
Non-dairy, so my lactose intolerance doesn't get in the fucking way. I hate lactose intolerance. Fucking
Sorry.
sucks.
I gotta zoom in for this one. Hang on. Yeah, okay, yeah, it is exactly what I thought it was. Oh my
Uh-huh.
god. I'm not wearing my
Steve
glasses.
Harvey. Yeah.
No,
Where's
no,
my...
that's not what I was looking at. Oh my word. Look at it. I was looking at the James and the Giant page.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's some good shit. That's not bad. Avery makes some pretty decent beer.
Where's Zer at?
Not the best, but really good.
Oh man, I forgot I had her thing here.
Huh?
Oh, one crazy lady's stuff from YouTube.
That narrows it down like nothing, dude. Like,
Mhm.
how many crazy
Oh,
ladies do you know from
Tara's-
your YouTube days?
Tara Babcock's thing. One thing I forgot I had here.
Ah, okay.
I just realized I had one sound clip that I never bothered to upload. One thing.
You should make an NFT of it and sell her voice.
There you go.
Honestly, people would do it. You know what? There are, I do have special bit audio ones for, I think, what is it, 300 and is it 500? Yeah, 300 and 500. Or Tara Babcock's. It's her voice. I've already had people purposely donate just those amounts just to purposely trigger them because they're like, what did she say?
I actually have a question about the whole NFT thing. I've been thinking about this for a while. All right, so you know how like you know how hashes work, things like that, where when you encrypt something, if you change one little tiny piece of the data, it should drastically change the data.
Mm-hmm.
When you run it through an algorithm to encrypt it. So with like videos, right, you can change a single pixel and it will drastically affect like the signature you generate from this hash, right? And so with NFTs, right, what's stopping you from grabbing, like, say, the image, right, clicking it, changing a single pixel, and then reselling it? Like,
I would
because
say nothing, honestly.
yeah, I was just saying, like, why
Literally
has someone
nothing.
not fucking done that yet? Because that was
I'm
like the
sure
first
someone
thing
has
I thought
probably
of.
done that. There
Oh,
are already
there probably are
people.
somewhere.
There
Yeah.
are people who are already reselling the same thing to multiple people.
Yeah, because there's no. What would stop you from having a separate fucking like NFT?
Like there was one artist that was getting lambasted for selling the same JPEG to like 10 different people.
Hey man, more power to
But
him.
he's like, no, I'm selling the NFT to this JPEG. They have a receipt for it. I can make as many copies of it as I want. And it's like, well, it's technically true.
What's funny is, yeah, because there's
yeah.
no, because that's the thing about this entire, well, I guess I use the word industry very loosely here, but this entire industry, there are like
There's no
so fewer
regulations.
than zero yeah, like there are so fewer than zero regulations to the point where it makes the gaming industry look regulated by comparison, even though it's also really not.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, right?
Oh, I mean, there are like some barely titulous things in there that make it regulated for gaming, but hardly at that.
I don't know. I was just thinking about that because YouTube already has a problem with like their content checking stuff because if you change a single pixel, it changes the output by design. So you can just, if you get a video banned, you can just change a tiny piece of the data, like a single bit, and it will change the entire.
That makes sense why those Yakuza gameplay Sega videos are reversed and never get flagged. Now that you mention that, because that's technically different. Yeah.
Yeah, you basically you can change anything about the data. You don't have to change a single pixel. You can drastically modify it, however you wish, and that's why they have such this difficulty with like, you know, like copyrighted content. It's absolutely dreadful. But on the other hand, it's funny as shit because they're the ones who did that. So, whoops. But yeah, I just been thinking. I've been tossing that in my mind for a few days now, and it just kind of like just shoved its way into the front of my brain. It's like, huh.
And right now, there are no entities or bodies, as far as I can tell, that are taking any kind of forthrightedness towards any kind of regulation or control of this, because you really can't. On top of that, because by nature, it is a free enterprise, like quote unquote movement in all of this too.
Yeah.
Because of the part of what is decentralized about crypto, where NFTs are not decentralized, where the whole entire idea behind, like the real principle behind what crypto was since day one, even before it was even before its inception, when Bitcoin came out in the early 2000s, was that it's meant to make you money and take out the middleman. That's really the bottom line towards all of it.
Well, one thing I found rather interesting is the federal government already has people saying we should do digital currency from the federal level that works the same as the normal physical currency. I'm like, that's not a bad idea, actually.
Do like the whole like chaotics cards with money. That'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, because we already have that with each bill. It's got a unique serial number.
That's true. You could do like the Sony
it's
iToy
not
and just like bam.
It's not a
the
bad
Sony iToy.
concept.
Yeah, Sony iToy, yeah.
Like
I actually enjoyed it.
I don't know. It's one of those things where I kind of wish they do something, but at the same time, it's like, it's the government. They're gonna fuck it up.
Oh yeah, the government can't help but fuck things up. You could give them everything just neatly wrapped and like prettied up and ready to go, and they'll somehow just they'll somehow just crush the box or like fuck up whatever's on the inside, shake it up real hard, accidentally kill the puppy on the inside.
Mhm.
Whoops. You know, they open up, there's blood everywhere, and it's like, oh, whoops.
Speaking of 3D
Sorry.
avatars, Drex, my 3D model's almost done. And I'm going to use her to make like looping videos and things like that for scenes for the stream, but I'm not going to do any of the VTuber stuff. It doesn't interest me. Either I'm going to have the webcam on or I'm not going to have the webcam on. I'm not going to do any in-between bullshit.
I talked to Chaza about my 3D animations because I want to put them on my streams when on the other platform I'm going to be targeting, the one that I can't mention on cam.
I've considered doing some streaming on there because there are games that we can't play on Twitch that I would be allowed to play on there. And some of them would be fun to kind of like do reviews of and play and be like, okay, this I like as a writer, this I don't like as a writer, because I do all those story time ones where I'm literally just writing stories. I've started to do my first fictional ones of that genre. And it's nice and it's fun, and I've got 2 really good ones so far. I'm already up to like 30 pages of content. People are bugging me to do like an Amazon book, which part of me is thinking it's a little crazy, but whatever. But it's not actually that bad of a concept where it's like, you know what, maybe I should consider kind of, running with this a little bit and streaming there, streaming on Twitch, and doing a bunch of stuff kind of all spread out.
Yeah. I have considered doing the Chow Garden stuff on Twitch. I've been considered doing it for a long time. But it's the setup of it. It's really like I'm still trying to figure out the whole video setup for this thing. It seems like I need a powered hub in order to do some of the stuff, because when I recorded my last video, there was some kind of audio desync, and I think it's at the hardware level, and I'm not sure. I think it was because it was underpowered. It was desyncing it very slowly. That's my best guess. I'm not too good about debugging this kind of shit. But on the other hand, like, I was trying to use the mirror box today to figure some of that out so I could do it for the stream. Didn't work out. But
I really like
there.
my Behringer mixer,
That's close.
so because it doesn't really have much for latency.
If push comes to shove, I probably can just end up getting a separate PC just for recording stuff, and then just have it dedicated for that. And
With
just
how
use this
much
one
Unreal
as
Engine
helpful.
takes up CPU, I'm kind of leaning that way myself.
Yeah, it makes sense for when I start like doing it in the new place, wherever that may be. Just because then, like, I don't have to worry about all this shit. Yeah,
I
it's
look
another
at like
point of failure, but like,
K0ngbuster and what some of these others have done with Unreal, and it's like, yeah, if you do any of it live on Twitch, you really do kind of need an extra computer to handle it.
yeah, like because you can just do like video out into the other capture device, and it's not a big deal.
And you can do that, or the other alternative method is if you just have a monster PC overall that can handle everything, then that'll still work as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem with that is you get like fucking feature creep on some of the on some of the programs you use, and then they end up
Feature creep?
Basically, they just end up consuming more resources under the hood because they add more shit to them, and then basically you end up bottlenecking your system because it was built, for a different time. It's kind of an incremental problem. It doesn't happen all at once. Excuse me. Basically, as technology, quote unquote, improves, we make things less efficient as well. Like, because why would we make them more efficient? We have all this. The programmers like, oh, we have all this memory, as if they can use up the entire fucking set of memory. They're like, no, you only get like this much memory.
Yeah, because right now, like, the stream uses half of my memory and half my CPU total, with everything I got running in the background, including media server and everything else.
See, and that's why I'm thinking.
And that's fine, but the moment I toss Unreal Engine in there, it's like having too many Google Chrome windows open. You just fuck yourself over.
Oh yeah, no, Google Chrome will just consume all the memory.
Actually, no, I'm not sorry, Google. Fuck you.
Yeah, you're gonna apologize for them, or apologize to them, rather. Fuck them.
Yeah, no. We're not gonna apologize for that at all.
No. Oh no, honestly, over the course of my years of my life, I've learned to really now very rare occasions, almost never, but really to not apologize for anything.
I am sometimes a little too nice, despite being a bitch. And a little bit of a dictator. So I guess it technically makes me a dictator. after because I'm also rounded as a potato. Yeah,
That was
I know.
terrible.
Bad joke.
That was awful. Like it tickled
I'm
me right, but
tired.
like I
Okay,
like
I am tired.
You know
and
what?
I'm
We're
going
all
with the bad
tired,
joke.
bitch. We're all fucking tired. It's been a long week. I actually worked on MLK Day because I could. I chose to. But like everyone else took day off, so I'm fucking knackered. Everyone else like whatever. And I've been working out, right? I talk about
Mhm.
working out on my my cooking stream sometimes whenever you guys show up.
Which I do
And
like those.
I know I
Yes,
want to
the
resume
cooking
those.
streams are spiffy always.
I would like to resume those, but unfortunately, like I said, I don't have time. Um,
Time? What's
eh,
that?
I would like to make them shorter by doing simpler things. Like I want to make butter on the next one because it's not hard to make. It literally is just one ingredient. Actually, technically two because you also need ice.
Last time I made butter, it was just butter. It was just one of those shaken in a container thing.
Yeah, basically you can do it that way. You can just but I'm gonna use my mixer to do it because you can do it in like 10 minutes and you can get buttermilk as well. So batter. No, I'm not. I
Oh,
can
we'll
make
batter you, hun,
Oh, that
with a baseball bat, though.
I'm
Not
gonna
what you're
batter
thinking.
your prostate.
No, we don't want to wish him a good time. He'll like it too much.
Oh god, that guy will never live that down, dude.
Honestly, we've had a lot of crazies on in your stuff, my stuff. Where do they come from sometimes?
From the ether.
Well, apparently that guy wanted to have people coming into him, so.
Hmm.
Including Xiaomi.
Oh, especially Sammy. Oh god, I'm not telling that story again because I think I've told it twice on the stream
We're
now.
not talking that story.
No, god. We're gonna keep having it as an inside joke until so many people are like, "What the fuck are you
Who
talking
are you
about?"
talking
Like,
about? She's another Twitch streamer. She's also on YouTube. She's also on a number of other places we can't talk about because Twitch TOS.
well, no, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the whole batter thing. Well, okay, I guess that does involve Xiaomi to some degree, quite a bit. But like, yeah,
Giggity.
it's just, oh god, it's so legend. That's why we have to like mention it every now and again, just to let it not die. Like it's like Soul Edge, right? There
Oh
was like
god, it's like the Mama Bree joke. It still
the
just will
legend will
never
never
fucking
die.
die. Like I wish the Mama Bree joke would die, but it never does. And I just I hate it.
Thanks, Dory. Now you got me on the tangent about the batter again. Like it's gonna be the rest of the stream. I'm sorry. Batter me up.
Well, once again, Dorian causes problems. Is that really
And actually,
unexpected?
No, yeah, no. Dorian's a pain in the ass. Like, no, yeah. Thank you also for the whole earlier chat. You've just been trolling me this whole stream, you bastard. Ah.
I need to get some. I know what I need. I need like some sort of animated emote that Dorian can use to torture us.
Why would you give him more means of doing so? That's not
'Cause
right.
why not? I'll be nice to him for once.
Sorry about that. Ugh. You don't need to be hearing these nasty ass belches I'm doing because of the drinking.
I'm also going to go to the restroom real quick, so I'll be right back.
Do what you gotta do, my friend.
Sounds good.
And muted.
Hi. Yeah.
Oh,
She did, and you know, that's her
that's my fault. I will take full blame and responsibility for this.
Oh.
Just like I take full responsibility for everything I did with Mel over the past 3 nights. You know, she almost drunk texted the past 2 nights. One girlfriend of mine, it's like, yeah, no. Like, you're not allowed to cause drama between friends. Just don't make it stop. We're not having stupid shit. She didn't want to listen to me.
They never listen, dude. Why would people aren't wise to take advice or learn from other people? They just, I swear.
Like, I look at her and it's like, I love you to death, but stop it. Oh, there we go. Now we finally. This stupid mother frickin'.
What are you trying to do, bitch?
Yeah, they're not even gonna reply. Fuck this bullshit. Alright, whatever.
Still dealing with that fucking email with those dickheads? Oh my word.
No, this is a different dickhead.
Oh, okay. So there's more than one set of dickheads you're dealing with. Okay.
Yes! I have like
Eh,
5 different
eh.
groups of people all trying to get my attention because I spent the last 3 nights ignoring all emails, text messages, and voicemails. On top of it, let's see, emails, text messages, DMs, voicemails, all 4 of those, just so I could focus solely on the cute girl that I was with. My old
That is
friend.
the priority, right? So.
Like, yes, she and I are never going to date,
Oh.
but she's still one of my 2 oldest friends. She gets priority over everyone.
Nope, I feel the same way about my best friend. I'm gonna be seeing her in
Like, Miranda gets priority,
2
Mel gets
months.
priority, Gray gets priority, Lindsay even gets priority at times. But, like, I just don't understand why some people just can't fucking give it a break sometimes.
Sorry, bra's digging in. There we go. Sorry, Twitch. I have to wear a bra because I got big tits. I'm so sorry. So I have to adjust it. Don't ban me. You never know. They might consider that like, oh, you have shown bra strap under your fucking sweater.
Oh, you're showing too much skin. We're gonna have to ban you.
So I just need a Zentai suit. There we go. Then I'm not showing any skin at all, right? I can do what the fuck I want. Not nudity then, right? A fucking Zentai suit, bitch. That's how you fucking abuse the TOS.
It's true. That would be a nice way of abusing the TOS. Not gonna lie.
I might just end up doing it just for shits and grinsies because fuck, man, that's too good not to do. I don't see why I couldn't fucking cosplay as Green Man from It's Always Sunny, right? And like have it really skin tight and shit like that. But like, you know, some stupid bitch can paint her titties on live stream, not mentioning any names.
Oh, there's something funny that I wanted to mention about Raid Shadow Legends stuff from somebody
Okay.
somebody that I will not name in particular, but I notice every single time that I'm in his particular Discord group calls and his Discord group, whenever he typically broadcasts, people always they generally conglomerate in. It's a big community thing, but I notice almost if not every single time whenever he brings up his one command or like automated maybe every 10 minutes command in Twitch chat for his Raid Shadow Legends stuff, there's almost always, if not always, a unanimous like deafening silence for 1-2 minutes straight after that in the audio, like in the group calls in Discord.
Huh.
Whereas like nobody has like a follow-up to it afterwards.
Damn. That's grim.
You know what? My one goofy command is this one. We'll put it in Twitch chat. It's a stupid, dumb fucking PSA, but it's still funny.
Oh, wait a second. I saw a pretty good video about this. Also, not this exact concept. I might have it favorited. Let me see.
It's one that I came up with back in, oh, good lord, probably my high school days. But I just never bothered to really do anything with it. And eventually someone was like, you should finally actually do something with this. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. I'll fucking do something with it. So I did, and it's just stupid. it's my stupid, at least.
I might find the video at some point, but it was just I forget what the title of it was, but it was more or less just like a 5 or 6 second video of this couple going down an escalator, and then some robot, like some like wheel, and this is all in real time, like in live action. And I think it was titled something like "NPCs are getting smarter," in which it looked like a help bot. Like I want to say this might have been in Japan, maybe, but I can't say for sure.
It wouldn't
It was just
surprise
this.
me.
Oh yeah, there was this, and I'm not sure who did this, or if the robot just, or the drone, if you will, just did it on its own. It was just some wheeled, like vertically rectangular robot thing that decided to go down the escalator, and no, that's right, yeah, and then took out the two people, like dropped them on their ass as they were near the bottom of the escalator. And I think the video might have been titled "NPCs are dangerous," or it was kind of like they're getting smarter. Also, even though I think it was totally just an accident, most likely.
Yeah, there's a lot of jokes we go with it. Like one of the reasons why I wrote the script the way I did, it's like, yeah, NPCs are probably getting kind of annoyed with people. 'Cause, like,
Oh,
you
absolutely.
keep clicking on the same quest one to review what was said because you can't remember what they said, and so you keep screwing up the quest, not knowing what to do, and it's like, it's like, yeah, no, they're probably fucking annoyed with you.
If they could truly have a voice, if they were truly sentient.
Honestly, it'd be a little scary if they were fucking sentient. Not gonna lie.
That's what some of those TAI chatbot and like Google chatbot things are, yeah. As far as like being sentient a little bit or not really.
Mm,
Even though
not really.
sentience is probably not really. Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of like have. They kind of just have really advanced searching algorithms and figure
Hmm.
out what to say. Effectively, that's how that works. Machine learning's and like AI aren't magic. They're just
No,
like
no. Yeah.
really complicated fucking databases combined with like really complicated math shit.
Mostly,
A
I
fa-
just enjoy my version of the whole goofiness because I got someone to do his impression of Morgan Freeman. Because who doesn't love Morgan Freeman as a voice actor?
Mhm. Absolutely.
Hey, me and my friend have this thing where whenever we watch the Shawshank Redemption, we will do best impersonations of Morgan Freeman, usually when drunk, and say, stuff from the movie,
Well, one
or
of my
rather,
favorite
what we
things
imagine
was
it to be.
in on TV back when G4 was actually good.
Hmm.
Just to bring up something that was in the news lately.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Remember Code
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Monkeys?
Oh yeah.
Yes, yep.
There
Absolutely.
was the episode at Rapeville Penitentiary where they had fucking Morgan Freeman dude.
Excuse me.
There
That still
definitely are a lot of
cracks me up.
episodes that I remember, but not that one though.
I never
Stoneville
watched the show. I
Penitentiary.
remember
There was
the
a
actual.
Stoneville episode, but it was Rapeville Penitentiary.
Mr. Larity.
Mr. Larity. Big
Todd.
T.
Todd was, oh man,
Ah,
the douchiest ever. That is just
Season
the
2,
word to use for him.
the cock goblin game. It's like all the jokes with that.
There are a lot of concepts in that show that I'm positive would make me really laugh today.
Oh
I
yeah,
really, really
it's
laugh.
still funny nowadays. And now you look at G4 now, and it's like, how are they completely not funny?
I was surprised to see Gerard,
exactly how
the
they're not funny.
completionist, on there,
ah.
like on their live shows on Twitch.
Like, okay, for those of you guys who don't know in the news, one of the female hosts complained about sexism and all that other bullshit in gaming
Hmm.
and everything. One, she's the worst host in general that they've had. Her personality's just grating. It's like, yeah, people don't like you not because you're not attractive and you dress tomboyish, because tomboyish girls are very popular with a number of guys. It's just reality. It's just your personality sucks.
Yeah, she came across really aggressive in the whole thing, and I'm just like,
And it's like,
even
no,
yeah.
people hate you because you're not entertaining and you have a grating personality. Just accept it. Embrace it.
That was one of those things that when I witnessed that, she didn't skip a beat even once, that I had a feeling, I'm like, okay, that was totally scripted on purpose.
there's-
Like that
there's-
had to have
Oh
been.
yeah, it had
Yeah,
to be.
because there's no way they would let her just fucking go off like that.
Oh sure,
Without
yeah.
it being because there's so much shit that goes into producing these shows. There's no way that if she would have done that randomly, it'd been like the whole fucking what's his
But,
face.
Like you
Tim
look at
Schafer thing
you
suck,
look,
right?
look at Sessler.
Mhm.
He's a whining crybaby now,
Oh, for years, honestly,
and
like
has
Adam
been
has
for
been.
years.
Oh
Like
yeah.
back in the day when he had his female co-host, they were great.
Oh yeah.
They were a great combo.
Morgan Webb.
When Morgan Webb left and everything was done, he became this annoying, whiny little bitch. Nobody likes him. Kevin Ferrer is no longer entertaining. He's just kind of there because big paycheck.
Hmm.
Which, can you really blame him?
Oh, for Attack of the Show. Oh yeah, and also after that, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't blame him one bit. If I was in his shoes, I'd take the big paycheck too and just coast.
because that'll stay on his resume forever. Sure, it's
Yeah.
like sure, like honestly, in that case, that's a super win-win.
Yep. There's the one dark haired chick with glasses. She's not.
Oh wait, hold on. The one on Cheat was named Kristen Holt. I think her name is Kristen Adams nowadays. She like I think remarried. Her name changed. There's Blair Butler from Attack of the Show.
Yeah, but
There was some
not
others.
not nothing special. But she isn't grading at least, and she'll make little cracks that are semi funny at times. And then of course you have Frost, who's just nobody likes her because she's irritating.
When she went off on that spiff, that really made me think that she was like Grace Harper from Terminator: A Dark Fate. That's immediately who I
Yep,
thought of upon seeing her
exactly.
doing that.
And it's
I'm like,
just
oh, who
funny.
let
And
out
it's like,
her?
why can't
I
we
can
have
see it now you say it.
why can't we have things on there that are entertaining like Code Monkeys and all these other classic things where it's like the network wasn't bad, they just made bad
Oh
choices
no, yeah.
eventually.
hmm
And the bad choices are what really screwed them up. It's like this could be so good if they actually bothered.
I can only imagine what would have happened if that was actually an organic reaction in which people that are off the set are like having panicked looks at the person that is at OBS with like hit stop stream or not. That to me, that I not an idea, but that scenario would be like hilarious to
Because
like
I
have
used to
witnessed live.
watch them back when they were Tech TV, even before G4
Mhm.
existed. With the two
See,
older guys talking about PC hardware and all that other shit back in the day.
There was Arena. There was Judgment Day was also a show I think
Like there was a
that
lot of good
two
stuff on
dudes
that.
did.
And,
Was it Judgment Day? I think it was. There was a Cinematech and
yep.
Cinematech Nocturnal Emissions, which and name made sense to me years later, which is funny.
Like it was very
Cheat.
much focused well, where it's like, okay, we have these
Oh yeah.
that are good for like the younger audience, and then we have the adult time. It was a lot like Cartoon Network. We had the Adult Swim time
Oh yeah.
period, and then he had the rest.
And I recall like the original commercials for Adult Swim, in which at the time my brain didn't get it immediately, but it did settle in quickly after that as to like what the whole theming and idea of that is.
And honestly, it's brilliant. But like G4 now, it's like, why did we bring this back besides nostalgia? Why?
Yeah, that was literally it. They were hoping to cash in those nostalgia bucks because everyone's
Oh,
doing it
most
these
likely.
days.
Yeah.
Because you've just got to exploit people's feel good feelings about the things they experienced in their past. That's the way our industry, all the entertainment industry is like this now. So
Oh yeah, they brought back WoW Classic, and it was great for a while, but nobody sticks around because it's like you're not capturing the same feeling because you're a different person than you were back then.
That's my whole problem with nostalgia. Basically, you can't keep coming back to the same old shit because
Oh yeah.
you change. Like, yeah, I love Mega Man X. It's my favorite, one of my favorite fucking games, but I don't play it all the time just because I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, it is kind of like from a simpler time, right? I could beat it in one sitting now, but back in the day, it used to challenge me because I wasn't as experienced.
Oh yeah, I still have my old 3-ring binder with all my notes from Ultima 5 for my first full playthrough. It's awesome. It's fun. It's really cool, but I could speed run it now, and I'm about just a few minutes short of the world record. It's not fun to do anymore. It's just like it's an exercise.
Same thing with Mega Man Battle Network 3, the first game that I played in that series. Even though I still really like that game, I can't experience it the same way ever again. Even though it's great, but yeah.
Actually, I have a complaint about the Mega Man Battle Network series, and specifically because of that. So, they re-released Mega Man Battle Network 1 as a Japanese-only thing called Mega Man Battle Network Operation Shooting Star. And it has a whole bunch of it has an additional scenario that crosses over with Mega Man Star Force because that's the continuation of that series. So it has a bunch of extra 3DS, DS content, like a couple of it has maps and shit. One of the things they did was they rebuilt it with the Mega Man Battle Network 6 engine instead of the Mega Man Battle Network engine.
Okay.
So there are no cohesive chip folders. Basically, you can't get enough of any one given chip code to make a decent folder worth a fuck. Unlike every other Mega Man Battle Network game, where because the first one was just so OP with what you could do with folders.
Oh yeah, there were really no rules, honestly,
there were
with chip
no
holders.
You could do some fucked up shit with
A
original
fighter
folders.
swords.
Oh yeah, you could just basically pin people into one panel and just beat the shit out of them. It was
I think they did that
horrible.
up till 3. Like, I'm pretty sure area grabs could operate with just one space left into 3. I do believe so.
I think they took that out, but like I know in the second one they didn't make them permanent because what that was the meme, right? You could if you didn't also have an area grab, you'd be fucked.
Oh
And
wait, area
so
grabs were permanent in 2?
in one, they
Oh,
were
in
only
1. Oh,
permanent in
okay.
one.
One.
Yeah, yeah. It was evil as shit
I,
because like
I don't
chips
recall
like
that. I must have just never noticed that.
yeah, chips like Stone Man were really good for that. Shadow Man
Hmm.
especially is really deadly when you only have a single panel. And it just basically promotes unfairness, especially in two-player mode. So they refined it a lot for the second game. But when they re-released it as Operation Shooting Star, they didn't have any consideration for any of that shit. So what they changed really didn't work. So it's not really as fun of a game to play. So it doesn't recapture that feeling. Now excuse me, I have the ROM on the Wii U of Mega Man Battle Network, and I still play that one because it does recapture that feeling. It's just that
Hmm.
it's a really old fucking game. It's really hard to play because Mega Man Battle Network's so clunky.
Oh, first one. So the order in which I played them was 3, 4, 5. Oh, so for 3 was Blue, 4 Red Sun, 5 Team Proto Man, 6 Side Beast Falls. Yes, Falls are. Then 1, and then 2. 2 was amazing to end on. Jesus fucking Christ! The theming and the language in that game is not what I expected in a really good way, in a really funny way.
So I got to play them in basically order of release, so except for the One to One color one. So I played Mega Man Battle Network 1 when it came out. I played the shit out of it. I bought and it didn't beat Mega Man Battle Network 2. Instead, I played it and went and got the GameCube game.
Oh yeah. Oh, awesome game. Awesome
Oh yeah.
game.
Yeah, it's basically a remake of the One to One color game, so I was like, fuck it. I have played that one, it's not very good. And then I played Battleship Challenge.
I never did.
That one's fun. It's kind of a different game, but I like the fact it's a card game. That's basically a reaction game. It promotes
Okay.
so it has that whole speed element to it, like Mega Man Battle Network does. Whereas card games are typically much slower types of games. So I played that one. Then I played 4 both versions, 5 both versions, then 6. Then I played the DS version of 5, then 3 finally because I skipped 3, and then the Operation Shooting Star one. And just I know there's a mobile game.
Oh,
I think
really?
like yeah, there's a the
I
Trojan
forget the
Horse
name
one.
of it. I tried it for a little bit and I just lost interest.
Yeah, it has I remember the plot has something to do with like Trojan horses and stuff like that. Like
Oh.
yeah,
Hmm.
Like,
I haven't
there's
played it.
some of the concept in it is good,
Uh,
some of it's just badly executed.
from what I read about the plot, it reminds me very much of Mega Man Star Force 2 with the whole Moo civilization. It was very, very similar
That
because
did turn me off initially with Star Force about just having your 3 panels and that's it, and that doesn't change, right?
oh yeah, I do like the fact you can block. It's actually something they
Hmm.
ported back in the Operation Shooting Star crossover.
Right, from the Navi customizer. Yeah.
No, well, no, not Navi customizer because you don't have it in that one. You can switch out to was it fucking the Mega Man Star Force Mega Man whatever the fuck his name is,
Oh,
Geostellar, I guess.
Geo. So, yeah.
Yeah, there you
Yep.
go. You can switch out to him instead of Mega Man EXE. It's pretty sweet, and he has the block ability, which is like OP as fuck,
Hmm.
and it basically gives you Proto Man's abilities as Mega Man, which is kind of fucking handy. And he has the tracking charge as well, which is really
The
fucking cool.
tracking charge.
Yeah, you have
Yep.
to play the game to see it. Basically, his charge attack actually tracks, which
Oh,
is
wow.
really
Okay.
yeah.
Kind of like a
It's really
thunder
powerful.
would.
Kind of yeah.
Kind of.
It's
Okay.
it basically it makes the game like ridiculously fucking easy because those abilities were really designed for the 3 panel format versus the whole like 9 panel format. Uh, I always loved the liberation missions from the 5th one. Those were
I
always fun.
actually did enjoy those too, myself particularly. I do recall reading lots of YouTube comments, lots of Reddit comments about like really hating them. I never really minded them that much, like personally.
I always enjoyed the challenge aspects of like games like that. Like that's why I liked Duel Links a lot because the um the single player was basically just build specific decks for meeting a challenge. Um,
Yeah, the problem was though the route they ended up going with monetization with really just
Oh yeah,
I want to see how they do it.
way too much.
I do want to see it how they do it with Master Duels because everyone's pretty much fucking raving on it.
they they had the same issue with the Danmachi mobile
Excuse
game.
me.
Eventually started the Crunchyroll decided, hey, let's change the monetization method to get more money, and it's like, hey, we'll give you less free shit and we'll lower the odds to make it even worse. And it's like, well, fuck you. We're done.
Yeah. That's why I'm liking the physical card game because I'm actually getting some kind of value out of it. I find it funny that Kong, you kept mentioning about selling your cards, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I got yours over there. Like,
Cool.
fucking,
They sit
Nice.
right over there. We've gone through a whole year of
Oh,
you opening them almost.
Oh, like
well, I didn't even those aren't even those cards. Like these are the ones that have already been opened, and I've still have to sleeve them. I hired someone to do that for me. We're already through about I think like 1,500 card sleeves, and we're not even
wow.
close to. That was just a single one of the tins, like the tiny tins. So
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah, we estimate there's about 7,000 cards there.
I was gonna say I didn't count all of mine in total, but I know that there are a lot there in
I know
total.
there's about 1,000, 1,500 cards of just
Hmm.
the ultra rares and the super rares and the secret rares and stuff like
Oh yeah,
that.
I have a lot. I have a lot of
There are a
those.
massive amount.
Yeah, I basically it's gonna take fucking ages to get rid of. Like I know I promised I'd sell some of the cards. I don't know when I'm gonna get through it honestly because I'm having to pay someone to do it for me because I don't have time for it. I didn't realize it was that fucking many. On the other hand, I only paid what like $1,200 for all that shit, so I made that.
1,500. Yeah.
Yeah, 50. Oh, that's right, including the shipping. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So I made I made a killing. Did I want to thank you for that? So
Sure.
yeah,
Absolutely.
no, yeah. A lot of the cards probably aren't worth anything except for the structure decks because about
Those are valuable.
half the structure decks that you had sent me, I already have, so I can just resell those basically
Mhm.
as is. I just have to
Yeah,
find
because
them.
I know like my mod Sly was interested in some of those.
Yeah, I'm willing to cut a deal on basically getting rid of a whole bunch of cards because looking like about two 2,000 odd cards will be resold.
Actually, is Sly even here
Nice.
tonight?
Yeah, because like
Nope, he's
the
not.
structure decks alone are about there's about however many structure decks anywhere between 10 to 15 I already have, and then there's 3 copies of them. So each one of those is like 50, well, 40 to 50 cards each.
Hmm.
Yeah. Although I like to keep the tokens because, whatever.
With card games too. I did take some time to look into the video that Mutahar, aka some ordinary gamers, did
Mhm.
about indeed, and this is true. Logan Paul did get scammed at a $3.5 million for those Pokemon cards, which even
Oh,
though he got
God,
his
yeah.
money back, but the notion that he had all of that dread to go through made it worth it for me to watch that to the end.
Honestly, it was kind of funny.
Oh no,
It
yeah,
was really
absolutely.
fucking funny. Like, with that, when you have that amount of money online, how are you not going to get scammed, right?
Oh, for sure. And also for the notion that like, and I thought about this myself too, where I'm like, how on earth can you even try to sell, even if you do open up the cards afterwards or don't? Like, let's say that, so let's say it actually was, or every single one of those cards were legitimate, sealed, etc. Even if they really were, you would have such a fucking hard time. So if not make it impossible to actually sell all of that to somebody else for more money than that. At a bare minimum, that amount of money, $3.5 million plus, how can you possibly even go beyond that? Unless you're making some sort of huge meme YouTube video for views algorithm, but that's really not worth it though, honestly.
Yeah,
No,
Really,
not
really
at
gonna,
isn't.
all.
you're not going to make that kind of money on a video. Like,
No. I mean,
no.
well, I mean, like, well, yeah. I mean, you can't. Well, it'd be tough, but yeah,
Yeah,
really, really tough.
Even for some
yeah,
of the biggest ones, it's like,
yeah, I doubt it, like, for real.
YouTube
Because
doesn't
when
pay shit anymore.
oh, I'm sure,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, no, I kind of pay attention to some people's numbers just by like either asking them, or just watching their videos because they'll mention it. And YouTube doesn't pay worth fuck. That's
Well,
why
look
I'm
at
not willing to
PewDiePie. He does so
monetize
many
on that.
more streams instead of just videos because he makes more money from the streams than he does his videos.
Oh yeah, because that's like active monetization in the sense where people that are truly like that invested in that moment on a broadcast is like probably better than a lot of worth for money than
Yep.
algorithms will even
Plus, he
do
has
in
the
that regard.
option of sponsored streams, which
Right.
always adds up a lot. Which and there's a number of devs that are like, "Hey, our game's in early access. or pre-alpha or even beta, and it's like, hey, you can preview it. Like, there's a number of even smaller YouTubers, cartoons, H2O Delirious, and others where they'll get access to games early and say, hey, let's show it off. Or like they'll get custom skins and like, hey, play our game as a sponsored stream, and we'll do this shit for you, and then you'll make us money by highlighting the game.
Yeah, basically the monetization is through third parties, not through YouTube. YouTube pays such a pittance. It's not even fucking worth
And I don't
it.
really blame them. Like, some of these games are actually kind of fun. Like, Goose
Yeah.
Duck was better than Among Us.
I
Even
noticed
though
that
it was
Among Us
made
fell off
after.
pretty quickly. Like, it's still played actively, but I noticed like the huge hype
Well-
craze for it died down pretty quickly.
The tournaments were kind of a joke, so I'm kind of glad it didn't
Tournaments for
bother.
that game? Oh well,
Yeah.
I guess I can see that
There was a
working.
point
Yeah.
system that was developed, and depending on how well you did based on certain things, you could win. Trainwrecks, I think, won the most out of most streamers on that.
You can basically make anything.
The mods
competitive
for
these
it
days.
just kind of were. Goose Duck took Among Us and took the mods and then did it better. Basically, they learned from it by not being. I guess by being third, because I guess technically Town of Salem came first.
Yeah, everyone mentions that one. I've never actually played it.
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah,
Like,
I've
vaguely.
heard it
I've
mentioned
played it.
a lot.
It's so big with the amount of different roles. It's if you're new to it, it's very difficult to understand what to do.
Okay.
So it turns off new players very easily.
Among
Oh,
Us had
yeah,
an
and with
issue
Among Us,
spammers
they
getting
had
into games.
Spammers
Most from the
and
Philippines.
scammers too, which would hack the game so like they could see everywhere and get rid of the fog of war type stuff and things like that. Just it's not worth it. Among Us just couldn't keep a handle on things decently.
Well, it was a game that was like released quite a while back and then got fucking picked up during the pandemic, right? It had been out for quite some time before it had gained popularity.
I'm sure I know it. I'm just not
Yeah,
sure
I
off the top of my head.
Well, I had Among Us before it became popular, which still kind of
When did it
annoys me.
release?
Among Us came out originally in let's see here.
Oh, 2018? Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
it
2018,
basically
November.
it was one of those sleeper hits where basically
I was gonna say, yeah, that was ages ago compared to like when it became
basically a
big.
couple specific streamers started playing it, and so it became popular. It's like, well, that's
and then
pretty
everyone was
normal.
playing it.
Like, there's been a number of games. Like, I did. I was one of the streamers that did Shadow Warrior when that first came out. The reboot.
Oh
came
yeah,
out.
from Devolver Digital. Yeah,
Yep.
right.
Or Flying Wild Hogs did it. Devolver was the publisher. And I
Mhm.
had a number of codes for giveaways and whatnot. And this was before I took a break from streaming, and it was a lot of fun. Got great viewership and everything. Everyone loved it. But it never really got big on Twitch until certain streamers started to do it, and then suddenly everybody wanted to talk about it. It's like, oh,
That's the funny thing about all of the exposure of games, honestly, in this day and age, as far as how that works, where it sometimes just depends on who covers it, whether it be a hidden gem or not, and all of a sudden that like exponentially grows in that regard.
Yeah,
Not to
'cause
say
now
that, of course, that
everyone
isn't
wants
the only way to
that
do it,
was like
but I've noticed
Postal
that.
2. Postal 2 was always this
Mhm.
underground hit until certain people highlighted it, and then suddenly everybody loved it. And it's like,
See, I remember that game fucking when it came out. It was fucking great, and I don't know why people want to like all of a sudden like, oh, this game's great. I was like, yeah, I knew that already, bro. Like, where the
Yeah,
fuck were
it's
you?
like, we've known this for how long?
Yeah, it's the sequel to Postal. It just fucking how could that possibly be a bad game? And then you play it, it's even better. God, it's been a while for that one.
But that was another one. Like, it kind of annoys me. Shadow Warrior 2 kind of was underwhelming because nobody highlighted it because everyone was on with the couple of other games that were so hyped. It's the whole who more so than the what at times. And with Twitch, viewership, especially discoverability for viewership, is so terrible. There's not much you can do.
See, I was considering if I ever developed a piece of software like that, I would send it directly to streamers and be like, yeah, can you consider this? Like, just here's some free shit. just to kind of incentivize them to pick it up and be like, there you go. Because otherwise, how are they going to find that, right? And I'm pretty sure people do that now to them, and they turn down so much crap. Oh, beer's empty. Oh well. But like, it's an option, right? It might be annoying, but if one of them picks it up and they're big enough, then
Well, that
fuck.
was one of the things with what's the game?
Excuse me.
Rumbleverse, I think. It was sent directly to a bunch of streamers saying, "Hey, we got this beta. We'll give you access to it." And yeah, it's annoying battle royale, but it's actually kind of cool. It's like, boy, it's really nice that they actually go out of their way to get people to highlight it and shit, because
I mean, you gotta be your own you gotta be your own advocate because no one else is gonna do it for you.
yeah.
It's a true story.
I forgot about this song.
What song?
It's Lil Kapow's Breakdance.
I have no idea.
It's
what
a
the fuck you're talking about.
copyright-free playlist, but it's actually one of the good ones on there. I
Oh,
like it.
copyright. You're so fun.
You know what's funny about the word copyright? Even like 5 years ago, I don't know what gave me this notion, but it made me realize sometimes sooner or later, copyright will be like the word that defines later generations. Like, what does this actually mean anymore? Not so much ownership directly, but like, what does that even? I mean, of course, we know what it means, but it was just a compound word that I know is going to take such huge form as far as like how this works down the line. Like with recent boo-boos on Twitch where Pokemon just straight up raw broadcasted Avatar The Last Airbender,
Yes.
which that's a
That
bigger
was
problem
so
than it
dumb.
seems. Not so much for like, not that it's a problem at all for her like being temporarily banned or anything like that, but the bigger
no.
Got
problem
a free
at
vacation
play
with
there.
free
Well,
viewership
oh yeah,
increase afterwards.
and there's that too. But like the bigger problem at play that I don't think she realizes and or realized at the time, two major red flags from that. Not only does that potentially put like a metaphorical reticle on her from huge media conglomerates, seeing that somebody that had 50,000 plus viewers watching that just as it was, and also way back, when Logan Paul did that one particular video that he had to delete, that was him going to Japan and he showed that cut up
Yes.
suicide body, and yeah, like that whole spiel. That was when YouTube took some major action, not only to get that video taken down, but that's why they made YouTube Kids. That's also why they had to specify in every video out there, everything on YouTube has to now be defined, is it for kids or not for kids, and with some other guidelines in there too. They had to take some real concrete action because that was so terrible, and his viewership is so high. He's at the top epitaph. Well, not at all times, but he's like one of the big players in epitaph of the hierarchy of YouTube there, where that it caught so many eyes that they had to go into place. This to me is like similar in that regard, not as bad necessarily, but now it just gives another big reason for gigantic media conglomerates, huge media corporations, Warner Brothers, you name it, take a look at the small players like Twitch at play and look at that and say, hey, that being done with a huge thousands of viewers
There's
instance.
a whole company that will literally crawl as many Twitch streams as possible for companies live, and will submit live DMCA's on music.
Oh yeah.
Which is just fascinating.
I want to mention something because, like, I don't think a lot of these younger generation people think about this one because it's probably before their time. Do you guys remember way back when there was I think it was a Pepsi commercial or a drink? It was definitely a drink commercial where they get codes for music downloads, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
I remember that.
Well, it was advertised by people who had been prosecuted for like copyright stuff because they download shit on like Napster and like LimeWire and shit.
Okay.
Yeah, and torrenting. This is like way back when they basically showed like what they were found guilty of and how much they had to pay out. It's like $100,000, $150,000, like $1 million and things like that. And they're all like, you can download music the legal way. And basically, I'm thinking the idiots you're talking about where they just stream other people's content. They it was a plastic thing to the cap. They still do that shit, but they don't do it for They do. Oh, it was Coke. Okay, it was Coke. It wasn't Pepsi.
Yeah,
but
and it was only certain artists and certain like.
Yeah,
it was very specific.
But like, those people didn't think about it, right? And end up getting the whole fucking applications banned off the internet and fucking having to change the way we shared media basically because some stupid fucks just like, yeah, we can just download this and shove it on, burn it on CDs and make some cash off of it, or
Well,
just
I will never forget
pirate lots of movies.
one person I knew found someone on eBay that had the old Ghostbusters TV show from like I think it was the 90s.
Mhm.
And it was supposedly the DVDs, the retail DVDs. Ordered it from, had a nice, jewel case and everything. Turned out just to be a burned copy of
Oh,
My brother's
converted
done that
from
before.
VHS ones. And it's like, oh my god, just what the
Yeah,
fuck?
My brother bought like a burnt CD of fucking basically just torrented music
Like,
one time.
I
He was
feel
fucking
so
stoked for it.
bad.
He was so fucking happy for it. I was like, bro, you got ripped off. You bought basically fucking MP3s, you dipshit. You could
Mhm.
just, I wouldn't encourage it, but you could have just, stole those, like fucking normal people do. Not me, because I'm not a normal person. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just, with like what you were saying earlier on, just tying it back together, like the younger generation never had that because they didn't go through like the whole like Metallica Napster thing and all that shit, and like they
Well,
didn't experience that, so they're just kind of repeating those same stupid fuck ass mistakes we made like way back when that ruined people's lives and permanently altered the fucking
well,
the
look
internet
at our
and
day and
multiple
age.
different
The moment, let's say, AWS goes down, or things like
oh god,
Twitter goes down, Facebook goes down,
Mhm.
Instagram goes down. People are
A
freaking out.
digital
They're messaging.
blackout.
Discord goes down. People are freaking out on Twitter. Imagine if Twitter went down at the same time. It'd be hilarious.
yeah, it's
Not
gonna be
wishful
like,
thinking or anything,
Right.
hey,
but
man, there's gonna be a lot of panic if like there's a major
I
global
look back
event.
and I'm like, I remember if mom accidentally picked up the phone while I'm in the middle of doing a raid, basically type dungeon with my group in fucking the realm online, and it disconnects me from the game. We're paying per hour for internet. We're not paying a monthly fee. It's like people don't realize what it was like to have to go outside and play and not have the internet always.
Oh yeah, I still value going outside all the time, visiting the local graveyard, the huge forest reserve out where I live, the riverside, all kinds of places like that.
Yeah,
I always value it.
my brother was 2 years younger than me. We would come up with our own drawings of fantasy worlds and figure things out in the backyard and role play some of that shit. Even
Oh yeah, like I still have all kinds of pen and paper. Like I have not attributed every single peripheral in my life to just being technology. Not completely, because I just can't do that personally.
yeah, I go on vacation in
There you go.
October. I fill in a whole sketchbook almost of just ideas and shit.
Mhm.
Like I'm still doing shit from my childhood.
I think his name is Andrew
At
Altucher on
39
Twitter that does
almost,
that.
and I'm still doing the same shit I did in grade school. I don't need the fucking internet.
Oh, for me, like not at all times, no. In fact, I mean, like
Man,
I use
books.
it really only for like a few things, really. Realistically,
Eh,
YouTube
we lost it.
videos, voiceover work with Susan Berkeley.
Like
Um,
all my games on my phone don't even need the internet. I can do it with my phone on a plane and not have stupid fucking internet. It's great.
We had no, I had no internet for like 3 days because my internet got knocked out. Apparently it was the actual company's fault, but I couldn't do shit. So I got like all these DVDs. Everyone rags on the fact that I
Mhm.
have not streaming movies. I have physical DVDs and Blu-rays, and they're like, "Why's that?" And I'm like,
Oh
"Well,
yeah, all my
check this
shelves
out,
over
like,
there are just full of DVDs.
They work.
yeah,
It's
they
great.
work." Yeah. And one of these days, I'm gonna have a local area network where I don't need internet. I just need electricity, and I can still play them.
Oh my god, I love my media server because
Mm.
the last time I was in Scotland, I literally could just use the Chromecast, play a
There you
movie
go.
from home on the TV in another country, or like when I was in the hospital, plug the Chromecast in, watch a movie from home from the hospital.
Yeah, no, it's fucking great. I want to be able to have that, like just in my house, so I don't have to use the physical DVDs. Cause
I
I want
love
to
it
take.
because I can pop on like a MASH episode when I go to bed and fall asleep to
Yeah,
MASH.
good stuff. Top quality content.
I think so. It's still one of the best TV shows. It's still on TV.
Oh yeah,
That still shocks me at times.
and probably still will be on for at least 5 years. Probably.
Oh yeah, easily because they.
I'm surprised no
the-
one's tried to cancel it. In all honesty.
Well, no, because they have to milk the shit out of it. You know, they can't come up with original ideas and
Yeah, but it's
foster
one
them.
of those things where I expect people to try to cancel it because there are things in it that I expect people to be upset
Yeah.
about.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah, because
It
like
wasn't
Which it
politically
shouldn't be, but
correct.
sure. Yeah.
Despite the fact
people
that
are
every
late to the
episode
game.
has a good theme to it that actually teaches you something without being preachy.
Unlike that episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation with the one with the drugs. We all know the one. Why would someone use drugs? Well, you see, Wesley, here's my friend Mr. T. Right, like fucking cringe that one. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that because it is basically like they might as well just pull the whole set away, had the fucking like the set pull away like some Jamiroquai video and have it all come in and like there's like a spotlight of fucking was it Natasha Yar I think it was the person doing that.
I
You
don't
see,
remember.
Wesley, I'm from a planet of non-consensual sexual activity, and while I did drugs, fucking just slammed meth directly into my eyeballs because that's how I cope with that shit. Like, that's basically what she said on the episode, right? I'm just paraphrasing like a wee bit, not by much,
Just a little bit.
just a little bit. In fact, I didn't even. I said it quite nicer than the way she said it because she said the R word, the hard R word. Can't seem to say that on Twitch. You're showing her wrists and mentioning specific words.
Wrists. Yeah. Oh, I was like, oh, that's funny. Wrists.
Wrist,
Mhm.
yeah, I have to cover them up, dude. You can show your cleavage
Yeah.
if you have a million subs or whatever, but you can't
Mhm.
show your little bit of fucking ankle if you're us, unfortunately.
There's a weird, and I don't know if this is really in terms of service, but there's apparently this joke about, oh, as long as the hot tub is present, then it's okay. Apparently, which I find to be hilarious.
Well, I found it
It's
fun that all those pool streams ended up just having kiddie pools in their fucking living room. Just sitting in a fucking kiddie pool. It's like, what the?
just gonna get a kiddie pool full of baked beans and just like, oh,
Or do what Attack of the Show did in 2004 with both Kevin Pereira and Olivia Munn being French maids jumping into a chocolate pool
See,
on their own
that was
show.
at least funny.
Oh, sure. It was during a time in which I think that was massively voted for. I think like they didn't just randomly do it. Like they did it through. It wasn't like live audience voting. It was like over the course of maybe a week or two. They took votes
Yeah,
in for
something like
various
that.
things, and that was like the winner. Yeah.
probably text messaging because that was big back then, you know.
Oh
The whole
yeah, text message
voting.
your
Oh, yeah.
answer, yes or no.
Yep.
It's funny you mentioned that about text messaging, where I've been noticing just over the course of years with technology, the internet, the ever exponential growth of both things and everything out under the sun, I'm noticing that despite so many things advancing so much more, bandwidth, you name it, I'm noticing it's taking people infinitely and infinitely exponentially longer to get back to each other. I'm noticing.
Yeah, because it's basically we've become so used to having everything available at our fingertips. We just like, oh, we can just make everything asynchronous. Fuck it. Like, remember when we had synchronous conversation like we're
Mhm.
doing right now?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, remember that? Right? Like,
It's
Well,
all up here.
it's so novel now, right? Like,
a
Mhm.
lot of people give me a lot of crap for doing this, but like when I leave work, the drive is so boring because I've driven that so many times over the years. I could do it in my sleep with my eyes closed and be fine. So I will call up, my best friend who's always on the road or someone else and just talk. And it's like, why are you doing a phone call and actually talking? It's like,
That's like the unanimous instant
better
reaction.
than
Yeah.
yeah.
fucking, text
dare you
messaging
call.
and other shit. It's
Mhm.
like, this is actually fun
Oh, yeah.
because we get to talk and laugh and all the normal shit. It's like, what the fuck's wrong?
Like I don't personally mind that my dad calls me if he happens to, as long as I'm able to take a call at the time. But I don't mind that he does.
But like, I don't understand the crap for it. It's like, I hear from so many people, oh, I'm not a phone call person.
Mm-hmm.
They just want to text or DM, and it's like,
Yeah.
I
it's
never
just-
liked the
it's,
phrase DM personally. Like I will use it if it's like an industry thing or somebody that I'm speaking to as a client. I may say that if they know the verbiage. I've always taken it a little bit as a
well, I tend to
nefarious
use
sounding phrase.
Discord more than text messages. So like,
Mhm.
for me, it tends to be DM me, not text me, because
Mm-hmm.
that tends to be the way most people try to bug me. Even with artists.
Yeah,
It was
my
just go.
my one's usually text message because with my I don't always have notifications on applications, so I may not have it on. If you send me a Discord, I'm like, fuck it. I kind of check it in my own leisure, whereas text messages go directly to my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, anyone who knows how to contact me knows to contact me through text because I will have my phone with me because it's because of multi-factor tokens and things like that. I basically need my phone for work for various
Well, for
reasons.
me,
Not
for
just
work,
that.
I tend. There are times, depending on what I'm doing, especially with side work, like my phone will be off, and I'll be away for it for hours. It's like, what's the first thing I'll check? Discord before it, because I usually get to my computer when I get home, not my phone. Because like I'll take my phone with me, but I'm not going to pay attention to it when I'm driving. That's stupid.
No, fuck no. I'm
I'm
glad
an
I don't have to do
idiot,
that
but I'm
shit.
not quite that stupid. I'm getting there, but
Oh, whoops.
I need to kill off some more brain cells before I get to be that stupid.
Oh, oh my gosh, my shoulders hurt. I've been working out. I've had a doctor's appointment the other day, and they said that I actually look more muscular. I'm
Nice. Very, very
yeah,
good.
Oh,
I know. I
careful,
actually noticed
chat.
it in the
Frozen's
mirror.
going to start beating you all up.
Ooh, ooh.
She'll
No, I
start
noticed it.
crushing you with those thighs.
I noticed that it's not so much my thighs, although they do have a lot of they're a lot muscular, but it's my arms. I noticed it with my arms. I lifted my arms up the other day and I actually had like definition on my biceps and triceps because I focus a lot on those areas. Um, and just yeah, like I noticed gains. So
That's the
Mm.
one area, thankfully, I haven't lost any.
I actually moved up in so I use I bench press with weighted bars because they're very low weight and the weight is evenly distributed across the bar,
Oh yeah.
making it easier for me to do. Plus, you can do other stuff with them other than benching them. But I bench press those, and I've moved up a bar size to like 10 pounds now or whatnot.
Nice. You know, it's
Yeah,
funny. Contrary to popular belief, there are a lot of people that either do what's called ego lifting or lifting heavy on purpose to get used to it. You need surprisingly, well, maybe not surprisingly, but you honestly don't need a lot of weight to really get an effective workout out of it. Like the maximum that I go, may honestly, this sounds strange. You can honestly get a lot of mileage out of just a standard barbell by itself, just a 45-pound like bar. That in itself is honestly still really effective.
yeah,
Yeah,
because it's the reps and the form. Basically, if you've
Mhm.
got really good form, you transfer the most amount of energy to the exercise. That's the way it was explained to me when I was had a physical trainer. It's like yeah, if you have good form, you basically get the most out of the exercise because it's the most efficient way of doing it. And then you do the reps to basically repeat the exercise because it will tear the muscle in that
There's
area. So
dozens of times on it. Well, I mean, maybe not dozens, depending on how much you can handle, but like just to the point of whoever does the most reps looks the best. Even Calvin Muscle says that. Like that's where I heard that from. Like that gigantic dude that is like so big, muscular
I
wise.
think I
Oh
know what you're
yeah.
talking about. Yeah,
Hmm.
and it's those little muscles as well you need to work out. Like a whole there's that joke in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia that Mac
Uh-huh.
works out his glamour muscles.
Glamour
So
muscles.
he's got like the arms and like the body and whatnot, but he's not actually physically strong because he doesn't like train for strength. He trains to look good. And it's a
Hmm.
lot of those little muscles that build up your actual strength. So you need to focus on those as well.
yeah. That's why I use
People
my
ignore it.
50-pound the
Mhm.
tube and the bands, because at least that you can focus on good form
The form is everything. Oh
and
yeah.
just Plus, then I don't have to bother trying to go to the gym and risk my immune system being fucked even more by idiots.
Well, see, and there's that portion of it. And actually, I truly have gone to the gyms before, whether I've been in several towns, close by, distant, etc. Even though I like the experience, but I can just get so much more mileage out of it at home, honestly, and outside. I just haven't
Oh
felt the
yeah,
need to go to a gym in ages,
like
like
I like the fact
ages.
that I can just pop something on, have it
Oh
playing
yeah.
whatever I
Hmm.
want, because normally it's only selected channels you can have on. It's like, ugh. And it's always the most boring of shit.
Yeah. Like I don't even put anything on to do my workouts. I do just so I can focus on what I'm doing. I've been doing Bulgarian split squats, which are apparently traditionally very hard to do for like actual people who train, and I can do them almost perfectly without having to be held up anymore because it requires an immense amount of balance.
Hmm.
These are what I do to train my hips so I can actually get that balance. I can only do like what 15 of them, but you know that's still pretty good if I'm getting them down perfectly, and I definitely feel it because they're hard to do. So it's the type of workout you choose as well. Like you can do a whole bunch of workouts just at home. I do
Absolutely.
I do bicycle crunches a lot, and just to target my core, and because they'll target the lower abs, they'll target the side abs, and the actual
Oh yeah,
uh,
the
main abdominal
obliques.
muscles. Yep, and all that good shit.
I
Like,
like doing the yoga at home because some of those it's
Yeah.
actually more fun to just do at home and 'cause you could just spread out,
Mm.
do it at your
Ever
own
since
pace.
I do my jump rope in this apartment because it's almost perfect where I can actually push my furniture out of the way and do it without hitting anything.
Yeah, like I got
it-
plenty of
yeah.
space behind me, and I used to have the Connect with it where they even had a yoga one on the Xbox, which was kind of nice.
I used to have I have the Wii U balance board for shit like that, but I barely ever use it anymore because it's not practical.
the Wii Fit back in 2008, I really enjoyed a lot of the yoga stuff on that.
I actually bought the original Wii Fit because I have the Wii U Fit and it doesn't have the fucking there's like a Zen quiet
Oh, it
time
doesn't have
one.
that. Okay.
No, the Wii U one they took that out, so I actually went back and got the
Aw.
older
Huh.
one to get that back. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just really want to ask you guys: do you guys know if there's a decent full golf game for the Wii or Wii U?
Or the Wii. Let me see.
Because I like the driving range for the the Wii Fit, right? But you can only hit 20 balls before it asks you to reset, and I just want
Right.
to hit balls.
I don't think there is a golf game on Wii Sports Resort. I don't think there is.
Ah, fuck. All right, because like
Let me look that up real quick. I just want to make sure about that.
like I basically want to take up like digital golf thing, and that's a perfect medium for it. You would think, right? And I know I don't want to play fucking Mario Golf.
I was gonna say which
right?
systems do you have again? Because I have a lot of experience, like a lot of experience with golf games.
The Wii and the Wii U, and I do have a Xbox One and a PS3, but
Oh, you have PS3.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I have
shit.
one
Well, in
too.
that case, you will be set.
Don't have the motion controllers before you
Oh,
recommend it.
not
Yeah.
needed. Not needed at all. So
No, see,
honestly,
You
well,
want the
that's the thing.
motion controllers? I could send you them. I don't
Well,
lose
that's
them
the
at
thing.
all.
I asked specifically for the Wii and the Wii U because of the motion control, because that's the whole good thing about the I guess whatever the Wii Fit has the driving mode on it. It's
Mhm.
very close to golf, not exactly. I like
That's
mini
the
golf, but I
funny
like
so
thing
actually,
is,
Wii Sports
like,
Resort does have golf in it.
Oh,
Let
it
me
does?
see here.
I find
Can
it
you
see
funny.
what it looked
do
like again.
stuff with it?
I
'Cause
buy
would
the
totally buy that shit.
I buy the PlayStation 3 one with the camera and the two globes
Oh, wait a second.
for motion controls, and I get the Connect.
God.
What's the
Yeah,
one I
yeah.
actually use? The Connect is the actual one that I actually use because it actually had decent capturing, it had the voice commands, the distance, and things like it could even calculate your height and the distance from it and everything so fucking well. The PlayStation one was just cumbersome and it didn't work very well.
So we got to program for that at one of the jobs I worked at because the boss was like, the big CEO boss was like, yeah, we want to have an application like a web app that works like the Minority Report thing. We like this, right? Fucking shoving shit all over the place. Thing is, like that looks cool on the movie, but it's fucking exhausting because shoulder work kind of people neglect that when even if they work out, it's not still you can still get pretty tuckered out, right? So spent all this money developing that shit using the Kinect and the Xbox 360, and turns out it was just majorly bad idea.
I
But we
will
used the
say
Kinect
though,
and it worked.
Microsoft
Though.
opening up that API for free to let people use it, brilliant.
Oh yeah, like letting people tie into it for a whole bunch of shit was pretty cool.
Like for people who have any sort of physical handicap,
Mhm.
it's perfect. It's wonderful. It's already so well designed. It's like you're doing something right for once, Microsoft. It's like about time. And now they just seem to continue to have that going, which is wonderful.
If only Sony could do things right.
Yeah, so actually, the one golf game that I would honestly recommend, like, can truly recommend for PS3, and actually for the most part, for the long time, it's been on PS3 only, PS Vita, and it technically is through PS Now. Not that you would want that on the newer systems, but Hot Shots Golf World Invitational is a really fucking damn good
that was
golf
really
game.
good on the Vita.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I will
Like
agree with
Yeah,
that.
surprisingly good
but-
for its time, actually.
But you play it with the control pad, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Completely undoes the whole point then, because the whole point is to simulate.
Oh,
the
so you want that?
experience of
Oh, I'm
playing.
sorry then. I just didn't realize
Yeah,
that. Okay.
yeah. The whole point is to simulate playing golf digitally.
In
like,
that
with
case,
an
go
actual
with Wii
motion
Sports and
control.
Wii Sports Resort
Honestly,
for that.
the best digital golf one that I've ever seen was the one at the archery range that I go to. They have a fake little golf club, and you just
Oh,
swing.
I
and
have
it-
done those.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've seen those. That's kind of what made me think of this. Like, yeah, it's a really
It's a
good
lot of
fucking idea.
fun, and the cool thing is doing that. I don't slice the ball nearly as bad as I do in real life.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Because
Like,
in real life, I will slice it where literally like hit the tree, come back, and smack me. In that, I don't have to deal with that.
no, I'm good with that shit. So yeah, it's really just to like kind of give me that kind of fix, because I can't go play mini golf because of the whole.
Oh,
know,
mini golf
thing that's
I've
happening.
enjoyed for years, and
Oh, I
also real
love it.
golf too. I played a lot of real golf.
Mm.
Did have an actual hole in one when it mattered during high school golf in ninth grade, and have the plaque on it as well. I won't show it because it shows my real name and everything, but
Oh yeah.
etc.
Yeah, no, I like playing golf. My uncle was big into golf, and I like mini golf just because it's fun. It's always a thing it's always the thing you do when you go on vacation. Like, at least in my family, we'd always end up just finding a mini golf course and going doing it, because they are all over seaside towns in Britain. So that was always a thing we did as a family.
Yeah,
like to do
anytime
that,
I go to
actually.
Wisconsin Dells during
Hmm.
the summer, we always end up doing mini golf at least once because there's some really fun golf courses out there.
Oh, I go to Boondocks almost every summer. It's all the way up on, I think, 120th, I think. Way on the other side of town, but I go there fairly regularly, at least 2 or 3 times during the summer.
Yeah.
And just they have a mini golf course there. It is dilapidated though. It's like falling apart because no one ever
Aw.
maintains it. I know.
Yeah, the Dells has a couple different ones, and they always are revitalizing it because they have all the indoor water parks, they have the outdoor water parks. It's literally just a tourist area, so they have to keep it updated.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I like to play at different courses because some places don't update their of their stuff, and it's just like, yeah, if they don't give a shit about like the basic stuff, then it doesn't make it fun. But it's still nice to go, especially considering that, like, the Boondocks place, they have other shit I enjoy. They have arcade games I can totally
I
take
will
advantage
never
of.
forget the first time, back when the Mall of America first opened, I did the mini golf one there. But they had like the shooting range and they had all sorts of other stuff, and unfortunately just don't have that kind of good stuff there. It's like, it was cool when the mall first was made, and then it just went.
Yeah, they had like a glow in the dark one in Fort
I've done
Collins.
one of those.
Yeah, those are always fun. Like, those are like my favorite date to go on. Like, out of
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
there's so much fun, and pretty much even if you're not good at it, it's still just a good fun time to have. Like, it's just a laugh,
I've done a lot of ocean shore, like what, like whether it was near the actual ocean shore line or somewhere kind of more inside of like the region. I've done all kinds of mini golf like that on vacations.
Yeah, no, it's a good time had by most people. Like,
Oh yeah.
I love it. So that's why I need that fix. I can't go get it now because, like, this whole thing that's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not exactly safe. And I could just get one of those like little portable holes you get, because they have the ones that have like digital now. They're fucking awesome. You can like
Oh
set
wait,
it
like
up.
in home digital, you mean?
Yeah, they have like the little, like
Hmm.
the little holes that like fucking you can put, and you can just do putting
I
and
should
shit.
get that for my apartment actually. Something
Yeah.
physical even just to do that because I used to have something like that where it would spit the ball back out upon putting it in.
Well, they have ones that can like do all sorts of data tracking and shit now.
Huh.
They're really they're really advanced.
Hmm.
That
Maybe
right
when I
by
move out to my next apartment, I might get one of those.
Yeah, right by my laser place, there's a golf store, so I check it out
Hmm.
every now and again when I'm
There's a
waiting
lot
for
of
shit.
stuff I want to do when I get a new place.
Yeah, same. Like, this
So
place
much
is
to
starting
do,
to look
needs
cramped.
more room.
Yep, same.
I've been here, what, 13, almost 14 years, and it's already like, yep, I need more room.
Mm.
Mel's staying here one night. It's like, yeah, no. The other 2 nights, we're going to stay at the hotel because then we have more room to just spread out and relax.
Yeah, I want to
I
do
got
my
all
plot.
I got all the books, the furniture, the hobby shit. Just,
Yeah, I want to do my plants, and I've got it like that. I'm actually succeeding. I have my 2 mint plants. They are actually very successful. They have not died yet.
Nice.
They nearly did twice, but I brought them back. They're doing really, really well. So by the time I move out, I'm hoping to put them into larger containers so they can propagate more.
Hmm.
Because I can, I can clearly see they want to. They're pretty big now.
Because I like to do resin streams, but I just don't have the space or the hardware to do that.
Yeah, I want to do the soap making streams on my only soap makings. There you go. That way, but I want to do that eventually. And I can't do it here because it's too dangerous to do here. I need really good ventilation.
Mm.
To do that, and I also have to wear like the safety equipment to make sure. I actually came up with a forensic test to prove that the safety equipment's safe. No, for real. I basically PVC material is supposedly non-absorbent for lye, so it's safe to wear when you're handling lye water. But I don't trust the internet because the internet's full of shit.
Hmm.
As so what I did was I just I contacted a butcher and see how much see if I can get like certain pieces of pork, like pork legs and things like that, and get some PVC material, like basically seal it up to make sure it's waterproof, and then basically pour lye water on the wrapped like pig skin effectively, and see if it absorbs through, and if it doesn't, like then the pig skin should be fine because that's what they do in actual forensic science. They use they use pigs.
Yeah, the pig
to
analog
simulate.
works pretty well.
Yeah, it works pretty well. So I would see that. The problem is, how am I going to safely conduct such a test? Because anything I do, I'm not going to be like, what safety equipment am I going to wear to conduct the test? Because it's going to be dangerous. Because live water is dangerous.
I'll
I
never
don't want
forget a lot of my tattoo artist friends. That's how they learned was on pigskin.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that.
Yep. So that's my test. I'm basically gonna go to the butcher shop, get a whole bunch of chunks of pork crackling, and just pour live water on it. I may film it if if it's lucrative enough, but it would have to be under the strictest of safety conditions because I don't want to have someone get blinded or worse. Nope, I won't risk that. I don't give a shit. I'm not one of these idiots who's gonna go around making like very dangerous content and everyone fucking criticizes them for it. I want to kind of be a bit prescriptive
No,
about
we'll
that.
just criticize you for all the fun reasons.
Oh yeah, no, there's plenty of legitimate reasons. I'm trying to be a bit cautious because I don't want to end up being like some shithead like that.
I was gonna say you also don't want any of that kind of karma on your side of things in life
No.
either. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't really need that like chasing me down. So yeah, it's just best to just give it some good thought and prepare for it.
Which we know is not this. Which we can't say the same thing about all kinds of
Oh,
gigantic content creators for some people.
no,
Absolutely.
the things that some of these people resort to, it makes me sick because like I
Mhm.
try not to be like that because I find it abhorrent.
Oh yeah.
And then they do this shit and they make tons of fucking money off of it. I'm like, man, my morals are holding me back. I swear. Like my
Even
fucking
though personally, I don't regret it though. Personally, for
no.
having taken down my path and the way that I have in my life, particularly because honestly, that sounds weird for me to say that it's like a small world in that regard. That's just one aspect of like monetization through doing things online,
Mm.
whether it's genuine or not. In which, when I discovered, just on a small brief story here, when I discovered the one time, and I really mean this, the one time in my life that a YouTube advertisement was actually helpful out of like 10 plus years of observing them, was finding Susan Berkeley's great voiceover company, Voiceover Secrets Exposed book, in which from there got in touch with her coaches, her audio engineers, all kinds of things, having directions, having access for life, for her entire lifetime access of all of her resources that she has done for 30 plus years of her life, in which I'm currently reading her books and studying everything. Granted, I've had these talents for years, but I've had no real direction for any of this, which this has firmly given me a much better direction with it. And every single piece of it is all genuine. There's like no bullshit in any of this whatsoever. So there are ways out there. There absolutely are.
Like, our not sponsor, Rich Wallets, right?
Right? Yeah. No NFTs.
Brought to you by.
Oh god, I kind of want to bring this up actually about the NFT thing. I know we keep coming back to it. 'cause
Oh,
I can't
sure.
let it go.
Absolutely.
No, have you seen some of the fucking trailers for these things to scam these?
Trailers?
No, there's so they
Wait,
advertise
wait.
on. they advertise them on Facebook, because I have quite a following over on Facebook.
Okay.
I spend a lot of time there. I get targeted advertising, and one of the things I get because I complain about NFTs is NFT
Oh, it's
trailers,
funny.
and they have like fucking like movie quality fucking like CGI in
Oh my
these
god.
like trailers, and they're
Oh, good
fucking.
lord.
It's and like
For NFTs,
for
really?
NFTs, yeah, it's
Wow.
fucking.
I,
It's
I
like
I haven't gotten
cringe.
anything like that.
It's like fucking cringe as hell because it's basically just buzzwords they fling at you with some fucking like
Which
hyper
ones in particular?
overproduced.
I'm curious.
I
Like which
don't even.
words?
I.
Okay.
It's just like they're like see NFT, crypto, fucking. It's the
Uh-huh.
future.
Oh,
It's like
a
just
crypto bro, right?
yeah.
Oh,
That,
Basically, it's
that's
just
one of
gosh.
them. Yeah.
it is like the most generic fucking shit. They don't actually explain anything in it, but it's just fucking great because like I was watching one, I was just like, man, they really overproduced the shit out of this one.
Oh,
But
it's
I'm
like
like,
some of the
this is
mobile game ads. They just like
Oh yeah.
overproduce them.
Mm-hmm. Dude, those mobile because
well,
like I do
at least they have
digitally
a game.
mine crypto. Well, yeah, I do digitally mine cloud mine cryptocurrencies on my phone like Pi, Honey, Bee,
Mm.
etc. for the future before the main net eventually goes into play for those things. And it
Mm-hmm.
costs me nothing other than just like tapping a button and having it do a thing. But like some of those advertisements that straight up say do these yeah, one of them is called blackout bingo and there are some other ones too in which it'll claim you can earn like up to free up to like 1.5 bitcoins and I'm like dude it's not that simple. It's like it would be by no means me like it would be by no means whatsoever be that easy to get Bitcoin. Well, crypto for one thing is technically easy to get. Something that is such a hot commodity like that for the past 10 plus years, it wouldn't be that simple.
No.
It wouldn't be that easy.
Yeah, I just love it though. I saw that animation. I was like, this is gonna fool so many stupid motherfuckers, right? Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
because of the flashiness, right? They see, oh well, if there's a lot of money put into the animation making it look good, therefore it's good. That's how cons work, right? They don't look shitty, right? They usually look really good and enticing. That's the whole fucking point. If if someone looked like shit and they were like, oh, I'm a con man, would you fucking fall for their scam? No, obviously not.
Oh
Unless
yeah,
you're
and
really
I don't
fucking
click any of
stupid.
these things either. Like in which
Fuck
you
no.
you couldn't skip them before. Usually a little bit before halfway of the advertisement, it allows you to skip it. So I'm like, oh cool, okay, yeah, sure.
Oh god. I hate the advertisement to trick. Like, 'cause I watch a lot of videos in the shower, right, through like a
Hmm.
speaker. So I was watching some video today, and it was perfectly timed, where the ad basically carried on from what the video was. So it took me like 5 fucking minutes to realize I was listening to an ad because it fit
Oh
in with
wow.
the theme of what they were talking about, and it was cut at exactly the right fucking moment. Whereas dude was like basically transferring the subject of his sentence to like another part of the sentence. It's just cut off right there. It's
That's
not the
funny.
only time it's done that. Like, oh my god, it pisses me off.
I'm not sure if that's on purpose or I bet that might be an accident though. The way how
No,
it cuts at a perfect time like that.
it's definitely coincidental, but
Yeah,
sometimes
I was gonna say.
it's too fucking funny. So I really wish I could record it because like
Oh yeah, just to
sometimes
capture that in the moment. Yeah.
catch that in the moment. Sometimes you can't get like that giggle
You have
because
to have it pre-recording to be able to act because it's
yeah,
instant.
it's
So
it's
yeah.
completely random. So and you don't know what's gonna be funny. Um, but like yeah, that happened the other day. I was like, fuck, man. Like, I can't skip the ads when I'm in the shower because I can't see if it's an ad or not, and I can't
Mhm.
click on the button because that's not how YouTube programmed it. Those fuckers. Although that's how that works on my TV, my LG TV, because that's how they programmed it there. So inconsistent API YouTube.
Mhm.
Not that I expect them to know what a fucking API does or make it consistent. Like,
And I, I really mean that too with the Susan Berkeley commercial. And that was one that was allowed to be skipped within 5 seconds. However, her presentation was so clear, so extremely professional, and also recognized the name, in which I gave it a chance to play, and I have no regrets with that. In which I was gonna say, oh yeah, have you guys ever had the weird encounter with an advertisement that was an entire movie?
yes,
Actually,
Oh,
I had that happen like once, and I'm like, wait, this is
I've
a
had that.
movie.
there
I've
was
had that happen several
one
times.
ad that was supposed to go for like 30 minutes. I'm just like,
Mine was like an
this?
hour and 43 minutes. It was like some Disney or DreamWorks film. I'm like, wait, this is an advertisement? Of
Yeah,
course, it let me skip it, but I'm just like, that's hilarious that like that was even presented in that media form
Oh,
as an
yeah.
advertisement.
here's something that I always found interesting with on YouTube. A lot of those mobile game ads, why are the puzzle ones where they always end up screwing up something so incredibly simple?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like
I
that
don't know
just
why.
confuses the hell out of me. Like,
No.
are the majority of your base just stupid? They don't know how to match
No,
colors?
it's to basically piss you off so that you go download the game. It's like, well, I can do fucking better than that. Like,
It is the ploy there. Yeah, I bet
'cause
that is.
I,
That
Where
doesn't work
I know
on me.
there's time. No, I know there's times
oh
where
yeah,
I'm just
definitely
like,
not me either.
I
Yeah.
can feel the fucking rage. I'm just like, that's so fucking stupid. I'm gonna record this and show you how it's done. And I'm like, oh, that's how they get you, those cunts. Right? That's exactly how they drill their way in directly into
All
you.
of the Farmville users. Yeah.
That's how they drill their way right into your skull.
I always think it's like, well, if they think I'm that stupid, well, fuck them. I'm not gonna play their game.
Well, yeah, it's also like for what I'm doing on the digital crypto mobile mining applications, doing that actually gaining something for the future. Whereas these games give me nothing. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to download this. Like, no, it's
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
there's
like
zero
from
incentive to do so.
that's
Like
why
Raid
like the
Shadow
games
was.
I listed, it's like okay, Tropico. I've always loved that series. Cribbage. Well, that's a good strategy game with a little bit of RNG always, just like any good card game. You know, it's at least something where there's at least a little bit of inherent value, even if it's not a lot.
Mhm. Oh yeah, and these games like they're not necessarily like dipshit games or anything like that. Like there is a
No,
way to like
most of 'em aren't.
evaluate. Well, I mean, I mean, yeah, there are a lot. Like some of them are crossword things, some of them are like IQ tests, but it's like I'm not gonna go out of my way to actually do that. In which like sure, it is beneficial for me. I read all the time, but like I'm not gonna go out of my way to physically do that on
Oh
purpose.
yeah,
Where
that's
in
the
which
majority of my phone is actually ebooks.
oh yeah, sure. Ebooks, yeah.
I got
That's a like let
probably
me see,
like
ebooks,
30 ebooks
audiobooks and
up
ebooks are
manually
currently
loaded on there on top of the apps.
oh,
Yeah,
oh there you go. Yeah.
I do a lot of the humble bundle book deals because you get a whole bunch of technical books for really dirt cheap.
Yeah,
I
they
got
had a good Arduino one lately too. That was kind of
Mm.
nice to see.
I got a bunch of those, and the Arduino one specifically, I have not had time to crack them open because the whole point of me getting those was to study for my my IT set, because that was one the book I actually wanted, and the rest of them was like, I'll take them or leave them. There's some good shit in there, like mobile development, how to build end-to-end web applications. Even though I've done that, pretty much parts of it. It's having an actual guide on how to
There
tie it
was
all
one
together is always
humble
really
bundle
good.
one that was a really good one with like the cookbook ones where they actually had good like
Mm.
FAQ shit. Where it's like, hey, if you're having this area with or this error or this issue with this is how you fix it.
I miss those
And it's
cookbook
stuff
books. Those
that
are
you
fucking
just
good.
sometimes can't easily find online because I don't know if they're buried in forums or what. But
Yeah, so I've
frickin'
noticed that
annoying.
search engines are fucking shite these days. Like, absolutely, you can't find anything on fucking Google.
I'm also gonna stand up because I need to stand with my setup here.
That's all good. Do what you gotta do.
Yep.
Yeah, no, there's a bunch of older content I can't find online. Where I've searched for that I know the exact fucking page
Oh
name,
man.
and you
Yeah.
can't find it because Google's targeted algorithm now. Remember back when I actually used to do shit? Yeah, now don't do that shit no more.
There are two things based on what you said that came to my mind. One video, or actually no, two videos that were YouTube poops that I wish I was able to find. One of them in particular because it was so funny. It might have been juvenile at the time that's why I might have thought it was funny. But Lucario and the Mystery of YouTube Poop was pretty funny. I really liked that one based off the movie and the Mystery of Mew. There's also oh man, there was some Morshu team battle one that I can't find anymore. I bet Jimmy Davis knows about it, but I can't
Oh,
find it anymore.
there's one particular Dinner Blaster one I've never been able to find.
That made me
I
laugh when I first saw that, like
oh
really
god.
hard. I really liked it. There's
If
that
anyone's
noise.
if anyone's interested about the Dinner Blaster specific one, because I know there's a bunch of them. Basically, it's the one where the king actually like spins the Dinner Blaster around in his hand like he was Revolver Ocelot. It was just fucking fun. Just the fact that he did it with the Dinner Blaster being such a massive gun is just funny as shit. And it's just like it's very poorly animated because they're all YouTube poops great for that. But Jimmy Davis is fucking. Oh, his videos have been keeping me alive during the pandemic.
Yeah, in 2008, I'm looking at the very first default result on Google after typing in a Dinner Blaster, a video from 2008.
Oh my god, yeah, that would have been about the time I would watch something like that, where it's fucking.
I do want to say like YouTube poops have been around before that time, but that was a
Mm.
time where they were beginning to take off in 2008.
I love how YouTube poops are still a thing. I want to
Oh
kind of
yeah,
I want to
they
kind
never
of write
stop.
I want to write an article about this on basically how YouTube poops have persisted because the format really doesn't change and the whole idea
Yeah.
of it. Versus like online advertisement being very unsuccessful, even
Hmm.
though it has the exact same like methodology. Because I don't know if you know about this, online advertisement's kind of like a toss up between whether or not it's successful or not. No one's been able to actually prove it either way. They've been able to speculate a lot about how successful it is, and they've been able to show like, yeah, maybe certain types of advertisements suck because of various reasons, like people learning to ignore advertisements because that's the way
Yeah,
the brain
like
works,
Oh, that's
neuroplasticity.
always a constant thing. Like with the work, having to redesign, come up with new ideas for in-store type ad types things.
Yes.
Because people they just completely forget certain things, and we have one manufacturer that makes. I don't know if you guys remember those like plexiglass heart and acrylic card holders where it was like
Oh yeah,
info on the product and shit.
yeah,
You can put them in the store all over the place. Nobody grabs them anymore. Nobody cares.
wait, it's a plexiglass thing for what now?
Cards, like info cards on the
yeah,
product. And you
yeah.
can put
By
them
using,
there and you can have it there for 6 months and maybe 2 people take it.
yeah, it used to be
Okay.
my job to have to go around the entire store and change those out.
And it's just like, okay, it's been this long and people still have absolutely zero interest in fucking bothering.
Yeah, because people are just really good at ignoring shit. Like most of the information we take in, is completely discarded because the brain just like I got too much shit fucking going on to deal with
Hmm.
that. That's how like so yeah. Basically, online advertisers have had the same format forever. I mean, we're reinventing pop-ups and shit like that.
Hmm.
Um, and it hasn't really changed since the olden days. That whole joke about Futurama, where they kick the crap out of the pop-ups, hasn't really changed all that much. In fact,
It's so
they've got
true.
they've gotten more predatory, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, that's
Um,
funny thing about ads because of like think about
It's
how long we've
irritating.
had to deal with YouTube ads. Where like just that word in that of itself, not to mention the $6.99 per month YouTube Plus model of having no advertisements, like that the whole entire notion of that word cannot be more
Well,
vitriolic to people
and look at
than
Twitch.
from years ago.
Twitch,
Yeah.
I have
Hmm.
to either allow pre-roll ads, or if I don't allow pre-roll ads, they'll run ads whenever the hell they want. And I still have to, if I want to, run actual ads manually just to be able to have other things not happen that I don't want to have happen. It's just, ugh.
And that's even if you are a subscriber of that particular person, well, of
Yes.
that broadcaster in
Yep.
question. And I'm like, that's actually dog shit as far as that kind of particular model
Like,
works.
like you can stop some of the forced ads by doing manual ads, but you
Hmm.
can't stop all of them. So subscribers are still getting screwed no matter what.
And they used to. I mean, I'm
The
sure
whole
that was
point
part
of
of
subscribing was to avoid all ads, but
yeah,
that was one of the perks. Oh yeah, and like either also
poof.
emoticons if they were there, and or extra things. Like I noticed that some broadcasters say like, oh hey, anybody that's a subscriber can play me, can play with me in some co-op games online, like over Discord and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
Like
it's
little like bonus things if they choose to do
and
so.
people wonder why after certain drama and whatnot, not last year but the year before, it's like, yeah, I kind of cut back on streaming because Twitch just kind of is being dog shit.
Oh yeah, and actually, one of my buddies, a really close friend of mine, in real life, sent me a video about a potential. I'll be careful with my verbiage here, but a very potential DMCA complete dropout because of music and sound effects, and that was like a month before the actual complete fallout happened. And people like overnight for not really having done anything, just and mind you, even big broadcasters were just banned because of that whole fallout effect. Just by complete autonomous works, they were just banned. Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. It's one of those situations where I just kind of look at it and go, fuck.
It made me
Twitch
glad that
is
I got out of
mishandling
it when I
things.
did.
Like, I
Oh
keep
yeah.
proposing Twitch do what like YouTube does, where it's like, okay, we'll give revenue to the copyright holder. And it's
Hmm.
like, great, you can take the ad revenue. Twitch ad revenue is shit. Who cares?
Hmm.
Give them all the ad revenue. Fantastic. Nope, they won't. It requires effort, requires money to do all this. It's like, so instead, you're just going to do the most lazy method possible.
Oh yeah, because they don't. That's basically how a lot of people are. They're not going to do anything preventative
Like,
or preemptive. Because
like
fuck
even
that.
the biggest streamers on the platform are willing to give up revenue so they can do this shit, which means more revenue for the people who want the actual revenue, which is literally a win-win-win situation.
It is always about money. Absolutely.
And it's like, wait, you don't want a triple win situation because it requires effort.
Yeah. No.
Interesting.
Yeah. People want the maximum amount of money for the minimum amount of effort. You not know this, Bree.
I'm really glad I do the method I do when it comes to my business shit because it's
What you mean, like thinking of shit through and actually like having
like
longevity to your
planning
plans?
things correctly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, like that's well, I'm doing it. I do it with all my ventures, all my code, and all that good stuff. Like I haven't even put fucking finger to keyboard yet to get my venture started because there's so many like logistical nightmares I have to do before that, and it all
Oh,
requires
I don't even
careful
want to think
planning of
about
everything.
all the crap you're gonna have to do.
Oh, you don't even want to fucking know. You know what I'm working on. That's the thing.
Yeah, you can keep
Like
it.
yeah, like just the sheer scale of what I'm doing is just
Plain and
fucking
simple, you can
immense.
keep it.
No, it's all good. Once it's all up and running though, I'm gonna be like, yeah, see, I did that shit, bitch. Fuck you. And then I'll be like, oh. Then I'll be the one fucking in that kiddie pool full of baked beans, like I was saying earlier, right? And then who'll be laughing now? Well, now everyone will be laughing, but then, right? They'll still be
Still me.
laughing,
I'll still be
but
laughing.
then I'll have more money and a kiddie pool full of baked beans, so you can laugh, but
Oh,
as
you
I
can
will
fly
be
me out,
laughing
but
too.
I'll be the one helping pour extra baked beans in as you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you gotta have them good baked beans though. You can't have them fucking shitty
Hmm.
no,
No,
can't
no,
have that stuff.
no.
No, no, no. It's gotta be the imported type of baked beans. Good old Heinz baked beans. Gotta get your shit together.
Goof.
For me, yeah.
Why would you waste perfectly good baked beans in a
Ooh,
pool?
never.
It's
Well, I'm just
blasphemy.
saying that's my plans for
Freaking
when
blasphemy.
I I get my enterprise figured
It'd be
out
like cutting a book in half
and I build it
so
all
that it's
And
right
trying
and
to
easier to
read
spell it
it.
hold the
out.
Yeah.
book to read. It's just no.
Yeah.
You don't wreck a perfectly good book just because it's so difficult to hold it sometimes.
Oh god, are you talking about that Twitter post again where the guy cut the fucking book in half? Oh god, that fucking guy.
It hurt.
Ah.
It hurts me. Like
Isn't this
Microwaving
to
your
see
iPhone
that.
to
Isn't
charge
this
it.
like the third fucking time we've brought this up on stream because it pisses us off so fucking much?
So what's the story now?
Oh my god. Alright, this fucking dude. He's like, yeah, books are too fucking big to travel with, so I just
Oh
gotta
my
cut them in
god.
half. And he cuts them fucking in half so he can take like half the book and read it on the thing. And people like they just destroyed him in the fucking comments because
It's like,
like
why would you ruin a
Oh,
perfectly good book?
I
you
know.
know
I
you can
know.
just get digital versions of your books, right? You fucking like idiot. Like
Or just read it as or just like.
or
Or
do what
here's an
people
idea:
did
instead of bringing like 5 books, just bring 2.
Sure.
one
Oh yeah.
book.
Or
The one
yeah,
book you're
even better,
reading, yeah.
1.
I literally have a purse that I put my book in, and then I put the book in the purse on my back so I can carry the book in my bag. I literally did this for like fucking all of high school, and I had to carry like 10 or like fucking like God knows how many books. It was a nightmare.
Well,
It's
Like
there are
funny that you
some
mentioned
people
that.
who don't like the size of the book because, well, it hurts so much to hold it,
fucking backpack, you pussy. Like,
and hold it open with one hand to try to read because it's a
oh
thick
no,
book.
well
Oh
no, well then
wow,
you
here you go. Work on your hand strength, like gamers have done with fucking.
get you some fucking hand weights and like fucking work on that shit. You can do hand exercise with them.
The little squishing ones.
Oh yeah, oh get some tits, right? Fucking tits. You can do the squishy exercises too. Yeah, the whole
Mine
fucking
are already
e-reader.
Ankles and
fantastic.
wrists.
Yes,
E-readers
This,
are
cry
solid.
exactly. E-readers are fucking cheap.
E-readers.
yeah, and people mentioned that in that thread where it's like, have you never heard of a fucking Kindle? Like,
I have so many books that are like EPUB ones, and on top of all the
Mm.
ones I have at Nook, Kindle, and some 2 other ones. It's fantastic.
yeah, Johnny Fox released a whole bunch of fucking shit on fucking Kindle. Our good old friend Johnny Fox, you guys don't fucking know about, but you don't need to. Just
Oh.
Bree and I know. But yeah, he
He's
released
an
a whole bunch of
infinite
fucking
source of
ebooks.
comedy because
Yeah,
mocking him is so much fun.
Oh God. Well, let's continue to do so. Yeah. He released these ebooks along with buddy Max Sand, right? Because of course he did. And fucking on Amazon, and well, I don't know how much money he's making off of it, but if Johnny Fox can fucking figure it out, right? This guy cutting the fucking books in half can figure it out. Like Johnny Fox is not
If a
exactly
loser
the
like him
sharpest.
can do it, yes.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the
Yeah.
reasons why it's like, if these short stories that I've been doing
Oh.
are really so damn enjoyable, yeah, it's kind of tempting to maybe consider doing a fucking, cheap little ebook.
It's funny that
I
you
mean,
mentioned that
does
example
that.
with the books because like the amount of work that takes is so not worth it. The exact comparison that I thought of is taking cereal, milk, but two bowls, putting milk in one, cereal in the other, picking up the cereal with a spoon and putting it into the other bowl to give it milky, where it's so much more work than it's worth. That to
Yeah.
me is like what I thought of when you described that slicing a book in half.
This is like playing Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but as separate games. Like, oh, I beat Sonic 3 now. Let's beat Sonic and Knuckles. I don't need to get the save feature. Fuck that. Just gonna play it straight through, which I have done by the way, because I'm that guy. But I still wouldn't cut a book in half. That's fucking.
No.
Oh
That,
no,
that,
it's
that's also just
blasphemy to cut up
so
a book
silly.
like that.
No, it's like
just...
we there was this guy that in Germany a while back, and he did something very similar. He was a very naughty boy. That guy. Cool mustache though.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at the whole naughty boy thing.
Oh, the naughty boy. Yeah, he was a very naughty
I
boy.
watched. I watched.
Wrists and
We
ankles.
watched the Mystery Science Theater movie last night, so I have the beginning of that movie where
Oh.
he's like, "I'm a naughty boy," and he starts spanking himself. It's stuck in my head, so.
Oh, I'm gonna have to watch that tomorrow now. You're killing me, Smalls.
Once again, older films, the old Pink Panther ones
Oh God.
Okay.
from the 70s. Like, I'm sorry, don't watch the reboot one. That's shit. Never watch that. It's
Fucking.
an
Oh,
abomination.
you said the magic word reboot. There are very few reboots that are actually good, like The Mummy with Brendan Fraser, because we love Brendan Fraser. And if you
The
ever
new
talk shit
Doom
about
movie,
him on the show, we will.
despite the
be very mad.
scene removals, unfortunately.
Sorry.
The show reboot I enjoyed.
That was
It's
another good
self-named
one.
reboot. Oh yeah,
I don't know-
1995, I
I mean,
believe.
technically, it is a reboot. It is in the name, so
Yeah.
like I
Although
can
There
that-
actually
the
was an attempted
sequel-
reboot of that show.
The
There was one
sequel of
attempted.
the sequel of it with the live action shit. I
Mhm.
did watch it. Not as terrible as people originally made it out to be.
I may have to check
but
that out.
Still not very good. Although Megabyte being in it was kind of a nice fun thing. Because really, he was such a good villain.
Oh yeah, honestly, really good overall.
So like,
I also liked his.
I'm at least glad they at least kept that part from the original and the carrying it over. But yeah, no, just not as good as it could have been.
I did like his primordial and advanced versions being kilobyte and gigabyte,
yeah.
respectively. Yeah,
It was so corny.
hexadecimal.
But like they plotted that all out so well, and it's like
Ooh,
it was brilliant. Like I
There's a
keep trying to
particular
come up with a brilliant way to kind of tie into something with that, but I keep failing to come up with good art ideas with that because honestly, that is a missing franchise that really needs more love.
oh, absolutely. Where Matrix says a command line for his gun, which I, of course, years
'Cause-
later, I figured out what that was really about, which was cool.
Yeah, like
For
we
what it
have
was.
Reboot, the dot hex sign ones in
Mhm.
anime. There's so many good, like, computer focused ones that just don't get love. Instead, what do we get? SAO and some of this other bullshit.
I could not watch that at all. I couldn't even. Sword Art Online.
Like,
I
why-
couldn't even.
Like, why do we have these abominations to just ruin the fun?
Yeah. Oh God, there's a lot of crappy anime, and I just
Oh,
can't
yeah.
I don't watch anime anymore in general.
Oh,
Like, so
likewise, yeah.
I find it very inaccessible. Just
yeah,
because
I don't watch
like,
many
Only
of them.
old things I was able to watch. Like within the past few years, rewatched Yu Yu Hakusho again,
Mm.
rewatched
was
Fist
a
of the
good
North
one.
Star, rewatched Cowboy Bebop also.
Mhm.
Oh God,
I did
told
rewatch
I should
Reboot as
watch
well.
the Netflix one. I just can't do it.
It's
I'm
not
not gonna do
it's not the most offensive thing in the world, but it's not amazing either. The choreography isn't bad actually, but it by no means holds a candle to the original show. Not even close.
Yeah, the second you
Yeah,
said
but
Netflix adaptation, I'm
I
like, ugh,
heard I
there's
heard
only
about
one good one.
I heard
The
about what they
Castlevania
did to
series is
Gren.
actually pretty good on Netflix.
it's
Honestly,
That
really
was
good.
amazing.
yeah.
That was
Which I
actually
finally
one
got.
of the best
Mhm.
adaptations I've ever seen done for something that's game or like geek
Oh yeah.
focused.
hmm
I watch it with my mom, right? Like I've told the story about how I fucking watch that shit with my
Even
mom.
she loved it.
Even she even loved the fucking like sex shit that happened because like
Oh yeah.
spoilers.
I
Like all the
But-
characters,
yeah.
the three main characters are not only well developed, well voiced, but they're
Everyone
just
has
so
shit to
well
do.
designed
Mhm.
in general.
Oh yeah.
It's like basically one of the things I was worried about early on, especially in like season 2, was they
Mhm.
introduced a whole bunch of new characters season 2,
Mhm.
and I was afraid they would just have like nothing to do. That would be like it's basically the Dragon Ball syndrome where there's a whole bunch of extra supporting cast and they don't do shit, right? It's just like Goku and Vegeta and like the 5 other characters that like they get focused on, and then like, oh yeah, that's right, we remember half the people in the world exist. But like Castlevania never really has that. They each have something to do that may or may not be related to other shit that's going on. It just depends, right?
Well, even that one guy who
I,
saved.
so I
Spoiler for those of you in chat.
Oh, I
I
watched the
saw
whole thing. By the way, so
the-
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
the
just
guy
warning
I-
the people in chat. The guy who kind of caused the plot twist at the tail end of the
Yes.
entire thing.
yes.
That character totally underloved by some people, I think.
He has a really interesting story arc because he only
And
has like
as
what,
a historian, a character like him is very believable as existing during an era like that. And that's
Yeah,
the thing I
like-
found most fascinating.
he
I
has a
still
whole
recall the whole
very
thing, but which character?
You're talking about the fucking
Saint Germain.
Saint Germain, yeah.
Saint Germain.
He basically is a complete fraud. But I'm not explaining why because it's very evident he's a complete fraud.
He's
from the way
a
they
fraud,
introduced
but
him.
not a fraud at the same time.
Kind of, yeah. He has a very convoluted, interesting.
He's such an interesting side character.
Yeah, I love how when they introduce him, they do introduce him as a sinister character, but then they go back and forth with it quite a lot, and you never know exactly
Yeah,
where
he's
he
a
stands.
sinister character who means well, but makes bad decisions.
He definitely has his own shit going on, and he's a very very
But part of
interesting
those
character.
bad
Love-
decisions is also due to his own trauma. So it's just
Yes.
it's such a nice
Given-
set of layers without it being too complicated, but at the same time being very relatable.
Yeah, given that he has so
So
little
good.
screen time, he's given a lot of character development for just a guy who happens to be in the show a bit. Like the judge guy from the
town?
third season, the town. Yeah, he has a lot of character development where like again it's that whole like you never know what the fuck he's all about until like up until right at the end where you're like just sitting there on the edge of your seat like what the fuck is the deal with this dude, and then like you go back, like I had to go back and watch season 3 to get that again where I was like holy shit, like it's all there, you just gotta pay really
Well,
close
and
attention
what
to
he
it. So well,
what he did secretively, that
Yeah,
judge.
that whole thing, yeah, and if you pay attention it's all there.
Oh my
So
lord!
it's worth a second watch. I love shit like that.
Yeah, when I rewatched
very-
it a second time, there's a lot of stuff you catch that you didn't see the first time.
Yeah, I was watching that movie The Prestige where it's also like that, where it has a whole bunch of stuff, and
What's
like,
that
you can-
movie?
it's the one where fucking Batman and Wolverine do magic
No,
against each
there's
other.
another one that's kind of Ex Machina from 2014.
Oh yeah,
That one too. If you watch it a second time, there's little things you can catch
Mm.
that you don't realize, and it's kind of one of those ones that was underwhelming to people. But if you kind of take note of a lot of the little things, it's like, you know what? They actually did some really good writing here.
yeah, like I love that shit. So the fact that they take just a character for a season and they develop him quite far in such a very short amount of time is really good. Like the whole Castlevania thing's really well written, but like then you say Cowboy Bebop, like I'm thinking
Well,
I'm
that's the
thinking
thing.
about,
That was I mean, not to say it's the reason why that happened, but live action versus animation, it's infinitely easier to fuck it up if you ask me when it's live action instead.
but fucking up animation is incredibly expensive.
Like I
Oh,
look
for
at,
sure. Oh no,
I
yeah.
look at, I
Mhm.
look at Netflix, and they've
simple
done certain
animation
things
can fuck it up.
extremely well, and certain things. It's like it's hit and miss. Almost like it depends on who's in charge.
Mhm.
I think.
Are
Because
we getting
you get like Itaewon Class, that one Korean one which had the trans character in it, really well done. And then you get another show which had a trans character in it, and it's just so poorly done. The big difference was who was in charge of the project at Netflix end when it came to approval of shit. Did you get someone who was sensible who just wanted a good story? Or did you get one of those crazy political types?
That's why
Like
companies
the
have like
ones that
style.
wanted to walk out because how dare they go after what was that one kids movie? Their movie about kids.
Oh God, can we not? I don't want to
We're
talk
just
about
gonna
that.
stop right there. We're not gonna
Okay.
go any
Yeah.
I
deeper
was
into
gonna say
that.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Fair enough.
just to make sure, because that like I know a bunch of people got flagged for that shit. So let's not.
But it's one of those things where it's just, we had Castlevania that was really good. And then you look at Death Note, and it was just
Yeah.
I never did
always
watch that, but I'd be
immediately-
curious to see how bad it is.
It's fucking horrible.
It's just-
Like it is.
Wait, that's just one movie, or is it a series that they did
no, it's
actually?
just a movie
Oh, okay, cool.
Uh,
So
based
so I
on
can do
the
it in a day.
anime series, which
They
the
said- they
anime
said it-
series was great.
Don't they set it up with sequel bait though? Because of course they do.
really did.
Yeah. Like anyone would want.
It's
It is.
disgusting. It's
I always thought
just-
that Death Note was overrated. Yes, fucking fight
if
me,
you
everyone.
if you watch
comment.
truly despicable movies, just watch Michael Bay's movies, or you watch Avatar: The Last Airbender live action, or Dragon
I'm
Ball
glad that I
live
never
action.
did watch that.
At least Michael Bay movies are entertaining. I watched the Ninja Turtles movie with my assistant like last week or the week before, and it's not the greatest movie. It looks fucking weird,
Well-
but like there's a lot going on with it. I actually enjoyed. Like I like the design of the turtles. Although I
The last two of the Transformer movies were an abomination.
Nah.
Like they should.
I was able to watch the original one, honestly. Like since it came out in theaters, that's when I first saw it. I think approximately 14, 15-ish years later, watched it again. Honestly, still liked it.
Yeah, no, the first one's
I
great.
forgot what it
the
was.
second one's okay, and then it just goes downhill
Hmm
Yeah.
real fast.
They're definitely a hard watch. Like fucking, you have to be really into it. Right? But then it has an audience. Like I don't. hate those
have
movies.
every Transformer series except for one on DVD, and it's the one that I hate because it's the stupid kids one,
Ugh.
the little rescue bot.
You mean like from Cartoon
Stupid
Network?
one.
You mean?
Like I have
mean
like
that one?
Energon, the ones with the little minicons, all of them.
Okay.
Beast Machines,
Ooh,
Beast Wars, the original ones. I have them all, except for that one kids one that they did with the little rescue one.
Okay.
That was a cartoon. I just can't stand some of the Michael Bay ones. The tail end of them. It's just I can't. I
One
refuse
series-
to watch them
Mhm.
again. I walked out of the theater with both of them.
They make no fucking sense as well. Like just like I mean,
Nope.
yeah, they're Michael Bay
They were
movies.
just
Like
shit.
no, just like I went
I
and
have
watched
not
the entire.
walked out of many movies. I've walked out of two Michael Bay movies, the Avatar: Last Airbender live action one, and I forget what the other one was, but it was just.
See, like people complain about the Matrix 2 having like been not or like the Matrix series in general, especially like I'm gonna ignore the new one because whatever. But back when they're like what like they couldn't understand the whole fucking point of the Matrix, despite the fact the movie literally explains it to you.
Oh, it does.
several times.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like there are people who are still confused about what the role of the one is, and fucking Neo says it in plain
it's
English.
so yeah.
And they're like, no, there's these fan theories, blah blah blah. I'm like, bro, the movie fucking directly tells you that you're an idiot. Like, whereas versus like the Transformers movies, even though they are simple like movies, it's hard to figure out how the overarching plot of the whole thing, just because it's fucking like from movie to movie, it's got a whole different theme. I'm still trying to figure out the whole fucking Ancient Knight one that they had because like what how the fuck does this tie in? There was an ancient transformer that just happened to be in the previous movie and what he just like happened to show up and he just happened to meet fucking Mark Wahlberg, right? And then he just happened to fucking beat up a Vietnamese dude, right? And then the crazy adventure with fucking the knights in the center of the earth apparently, like because reasons. Like I know I've watched the movie like 3 fucking times. I still don't know what the hell happened in it.
The weird thing is like they were trying to combine stories from multiple different Transformer series, and so it
Yeah.
became this convoluted mess.
That's what I'm saying. Like I was like I know there are Transformers that probably align.
Like
With this
there in one of the
toys, right?
cartoon series, Earth was actually Unicron.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
which made zero fucking sense.
I would say that it makes no. Yeah, I was gonna say because
Yeah,
like
'cause-
it's meant to be its own thing altogether, like its actual own planet. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they aren't they implying some shit about that in like one of the movies where like the spikes come up and then like raw spoiler alert spikes come up. Just fuck knows what that means.
Like, yes,
the-
Unicron was his own planet, and yeah, he could have been covered in debris and all that and become all this other stuff, but there's all this other stuff, regardless of all the other series, where it's like, this makes zero sense. There's no
Yeah.
continuity anymore.
yeah, I was trying to figure out the whole fucking one with Leonard Nimoy. Like I know there was some like shit on the moon.
Oh,
and
the
that-
original Transformers movie from the 80s? Oh, that's a classic.
No. Well, yeah, that one's. Oh, that yeah, like that. No, I'm not talking about that one.
That
I'm
had a
talking about
Weird
the
Al
third-
song, even.
Really?
Really?
Yep, Dare to Be Stupid
Wow.
when they ended on
That's
the junk
funny.
planet.
Okay. Because yeah. Oh yeah, I thought they're just stupid. Wait, hold on. No, that's right. That is a song. I thought that was an album. Yeah, that is a song because I know like dozens of the songs by heart.
Mm.
Honestly.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it still will never forget the start of the Shadow Warrior reboot where they have the You've Got the Touch. And Lil Wayne is singing that in his car, and it's like, this is the best shit ever.
Oh my word.
Oh, if anyone wants that on YouTube, watch the opening to that one. It's the fucking best.
Things that I eventually came back to watching when I just completely forgot about it. Now, of course, I never forgot about The Last Airbender. Rewatched it a few
Oh.
times over the course because even though, or not the movie, I mean like the proper series rather. But it
Oh,
was
okay.
that.
I was like, for a second, I was like, oh.
Oh yeah,
totally
actually,
wrong.
it's honestly the movie I never saw. Everybody tells me to not see it. I'm just gonna choose to not see it. In that case, I
It-
feel it's truly not worth my time. But having
it's
watched that,
painfully bad.
I completely missed out on Korra because by the time
Okay.
that came out was roughly my time where I just skipped out of television completely, and then watched all of it years after it was already done.
The Korra one gets a bum rap from a lot of people too, which really
I don't know why,
sucks.
honestly. Because as I watched it, I kind of failed to see what was shitty about it. Honestly,
All right, my thing about it is I've seen Korra like, and it's
Mhm.
not exactly great. It basically takes everything that was special about the previous series and just kind of like does the quote unquote plink it, electrify it thing,
Mhm.
where like every single little tiny thing that they could exploit from the previous series was just used some way, and it felt just like fucking like wearing someone else's clothes almost. Like
Well,
that's my way of it.
There was
Like
the
that-
people too that complained about what was supposedly a retcon, but depending on how you look at it, it wasn't really a retcon either.
which
Yeah,
things
'cause-
were considered retcon from the series?
Well, like for
Um,
instance, we learned in the
the first
Aang
Avatar.
one that people learned bending on their own, but also from other animals and creatures and things like
From
that.
the ancient
the second
days.
one,
Yeah.
They made it seem like they learned it just from the turtles, which, okay, yeah, these villages that lived on the turtles would learn from the turtles, but there weren't just villages on the turtles already at the time of the first Avatar. They had already started to spread and push against the spirits and other stuff, so there were benders learning from other sources already. But people just kind of ignore about that and they just focus on the one little part. It's like, look at the big picture. Don't look at just the little things.
I just have more of a unique experience with it because I completely like, and not even out of ignorance. I just forgot about Korra even existing over time. Watched it like 7+ years later after having watched the Last Airbender, which I'm sure that's why I was able to really enjoy it. Honestly,
One thing I
Honestly,
really
it's
did like about
entertaining, and as long as you don't take it too seriously, it's good.
oh, I definitely didn't.
Well,
No,
one
yeah,
thing-
no.
one thing I liked about Korra that I will give it praise for is the fact that they made a dark airbender. That was always something that was like missing from like the
With
previous lore, because
I'll think of his name.
Yeah, I can't think of his name either. But the guy
It'll
with
hit
the
me. I know exactly what he looks like.
Yeah.
shaved head.
Oh.
and they gave him an
Um,
overpowered ability that makes sense for someone in his situation. I fucking love that. Where it's like, oh, he has an ability that even like
What's his
trained
name?
airbenders
Hold on.
don't have.
Yeah, it
because
was
he's
that
the
one
evil
master
guy.
that had done it, but not too many others had never done it.
Yeah, they gave him
besides him.
something. They didn't just give him like explosive energy from his face, right, or something stupid, right? Like they gave him something that was
Yeah,
actually
it was such a simple
very
skill.
useful.
too.
Zahir.
yeah.
That's what it was. Because I recall his name because one of my real life friends have that name also.
Yeah. Like I thought his whole concept was really fucking cool.
Oh yeah.
Just
Yeah,
because
and that some people still complain about, which makes zero sense to me because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, he was such a good character.
yeah, he was such a good character, and his whole yeah. I guess there is a little bit of a retread of the previous season, I guess. But like, fuck it, they did it better in that case, I believe. His whole henchmen are fucking cool as well. The one
Oh
chick with
sure.
Oh, the
They're all
magma
like these
bending.
super elite warriors.
Yeah.
The
Oh yeah.
magma bending was fantastic because we had
Mhm.
metal bending just introduced in the
Mm.
Aang one. We finally see where it develops, and then we add another one that actually logically makes sense within earth bending again.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just like we
People
saw
complain
blood
about metal
bending
bending.
kind of develop even more as well. And
Yeah,
it's like, this is good. They're actually providing things that they should from a storyboarding perspective.
And then there was Minghua, the waterbending one. Zahir, the airbender. I think Pylo was his love interest. I think that was her name. I think
I love the
Pyla,
fact,
maybe.
I love the fact that bitch had like no arms and she could use like the
Oh yeah.
The tentacles then? Yes.
That was
Mhm.
fucking. That was so. That was
was
like
so
such
cool.
a good. Like, I like the whole idea of turning a disadvantage into an advantage.
Oh
And
sure.
that's like the
Oh yeah.
ultimate version of that. Where it's like she would otherwise be functionally useless, but like in the context of the show, right?
Mhm. Oh yeah.
Unless you're like the mechanist or whatever, right? You know, then she gets like fucking cool steam powered arms, right? Like powered by like water bending, because that's the mechanist for you. Spoiler alert.
I definitely couldn't go along with the notion that like people were really upset that Aang wasn't in it. But to be honest, he was already around for 120 years. It would be silly for him to be around for 80 plus more. Which granted, I'm sure he lived to be like an elder, but it would have been like it would have given his credence of a character less meaning if he was in it throughout the entire series 80 plus years later. If
How
you
are you
ask
gonna?
me.
How are you gonna do another Avatar show
Oh
when he's
yeah.
still the
Yeah.
Avatar? Because the whole fucking
Oh no,
point is
yeah.
he has to snuff, right?
Mhm.
Now I get they could have done like the Avatar Roku thing a little bit more. They didn't really
Mhm.
exploit that all
Roku
that
was really
much.
good, honestly.
Yeah, I don't get why
Loved
you
him
could only.
since the beginning.
It seems that like Korra can only really talk to Aang and not really anyone else. I mean, I guess she can
I did
talk to
notice
anyone
that.
else,
I think she
but like
didn't she. Maybe not.
All right,
she
I'm gonna
like.
put a link to the video, my video of the opening of
But
Shadow Warrior with that song in
Okay.
gaming, just for giggles.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I always thought that was like because Aang could talk to like fucking the previous like
Spirits and
what, 10
past
avatars. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna talk back to fucking the first avatar. Fuck it, right? And then like Korra's like, oh yeah, I can only talk to Aang because everyone else sucks. I guess Aang's the greatest fucking guy ever. It's like, oh, that Roku guy, he got fucking burned alive. Fuck that. Fuck him, right? He only manifested himself and then fucking like what sunk the whole fucking island. Yeah, even though he was dead, right? That's a pretty fucking mean accomplishment for a fucking dead guy. And fuck him. He doesn't.
And it was definitely more plausible to have have Katara and Toph be alive. Like I was okay with that.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can't get rid of Toph. Like,
Oh, Toph, yeah,
Well,
man,
well,
I will
okay,
always love
just
that
for-
moment
she's
in
highly
Airbender.
You
popular.
have to admit,
cannot have-
Iroh, his appearance in the Korra one was so good.
Well,
Oh
it's just
yeah, it
Iroh.
caught me
Iroh's
so
so
by
loved.
surprise. Him
Uncle
being in the
Iroh
spirit
is
world.
he was such a fan favorite that I
Oh
think
yeah.
if they would have left him out,
Oh, that would have been
there
terrible.
would have been
if you
people
ask me.
truly upset.
Oh yeah, like people would have noticed. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you can't get. He had such a powerful character arc in the original story. Not giving him any time would have been fucking just criminal.
Mhm.
Because basically he goes from being the next potential Fire Lord all the way to basically being deposed and then
He could have been a Fire Lord, yeah.
Yes.
He
Mhm.
could have been, but yeah, that was
And
the
he
whole
was
thing
treated
about.
like a joke and acted like he didn't take things seriously when he really did. It was
He secretly always did. Yep.
Yeah.
He was always watching.
and he was the character I
Mhm.
actually could identify with the most while watching, which was the best part.
With
Yeah,
his
like-
reveal in the spirit world in Korra during my because I was doing workouts the entire time watching it because why not? I don't recall another time as of late which a huge jaw dropping reaction of joy hit my face hearing him and seeing him. I think it's when Korra's like turned into a kid in that world, right? And then that's when they reveal him. I think, right?
Yep.
I think, yeah.
He shows up and helps her because she's lost and kind of afraid and
Mhm.
freaking out.
See, for every one of those good callbacks in Korra, they have some like 2 or 3 shitty ones.
Mhm.
Whereas
Which
the
ones then?
like the cabbage guy, they couldn't let that.
Oh,
fucking
sure.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
like oh
it
well,
would
he
have
was a
been fine if he wasn't there. Yeah.
he was the cabbage guy, right? Now he's got the cabbage industry, right? Like
Right.
fucking
Right.
because
Yeah.
they have to hyper sex everything up, right? Like everyone can do the lightning bending now because that one guy could fucking do it, right? Because now everyone can do chi blocking because that one chick could do it. It's like
hmm
that's kind of like the
What was it?
exploitation of the property, I guess.
Oh.
Like there's a lot of that going on, but for like every 2 or 3 of those, you get one fucking Iroh moment, right?
hmm
You get one of them. They just like sprinkle it in there. So it's not a great show, right? But it's not a bad show either.
The one that I really liked also, like one of the little nods to it, is that Admiral Zhao is still lost in the spirit world since
Yes,
Airbender. And I'm
I
like,
love that.
it took me a second, but I'm like, oh wait, that's Zhao. Okay.
I fucking love how Zhao dies as well, because like he very clearly dies, right? He doesn't
Does
like.
he actually really die though, or is he? I mean, I guess he would have to. Well, that's true. Yeah, he would have to be dead. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean he's been in the spirit world for how long now? He ain't coming back, mate.
easily, technically, what 80 years bare minimum, right? At
Yeah,
least.
yeah. It's like, yeah, I just love that. He's just fucking so proud and shit that he just goes down. I love it. Just like, yep, bye, bitches. No.
The nice thing is they actually even improved on the voice acting in some ways too over the
Oh
first
yeah.
one.
hmm
Like you could tell they were willing to spend a little bit more money. Of course, I think the fandom kind of helped a little bit too, in them getting a larger budget. So
I can't help but hear Dex's dad in the fucking announcer because the announcer's every fucking time he talks, I just think of fucking Dexter episodes. I just can't help it because how can I? You know that they use him for because
great. Now
he
I'm
has the
gonna have that
voice.
stuck in my head too now.
Yep,
I hate
good
you.
luck. You can't enjoy any of the fucking next time on fucking Korra Ball Z, right? You can't enjoy that part anymore.
Nope, I can't rewatch the entire series because it's been ruined for me.
Because now you're gonna be picturing that dude as Dexter's dad. 'Cause he's got the glasses and everything now. You're welcome, bitch.
And once again, Frozen fucking wrecked something for me. Congratulations, chat. You get to see it live this time, though. Fuck me.
I wonder if he's married to a fucking like in-universe version of like fucking Dexter's mom, with like the big booty and shit. What? I'm just saying. You know how like
You
that
know,
one chick.
there's a couple trans girls that made a meme about the mom and that character and goals being like some of her figure and stuff. Honestly, quality B memes. Not gonna disagree with it one bit.
I keep trying to get Christina to
It was-
cosplay as.
Was one of those things where like
Dexter's mom.
some of the people that made them are people I do not like. But it's like, okay, you made a quality meme. I approve of this. I'm gonna give you a thumbs up. And they're like, but you hate me. And I'm like, yeah, but you still did something good. What? You think I'm that petty? It's like, come on. We
Speaking
need
of being,
more quality shit
I'm
like that.
I'm gonna call off our friendship, Christina, unless you dress as Dexter's mom. I'm just calling it out. I'm just saying it right now. Sorry.
You know, a requirement.
Nope. It's now a requirement of our friendship. You just got that big booty. So.
No, requirement of life. You must
Oh
have
yeah,
that.
no, it's right. Nope, sorry, yeah. It's gotta have that big booty.
Life requirement. Already got a nice big booty, so I'm good.
Mine's working out because I work out. So.
The last
That's a
time
classic YouTube video.
last
Big
time I
booty
wore a
bitches.
dress that I went to one of
God,
the
big
salons I
booties.
go to, a dad came in to pick up his kids, and he literally stopped mid-sentence, completely forgot what he's thinking because he was just looking at my butt. I'm like, aww. At least I
I
know
got a
the
pretty-
dress was perfect for that date that I had the next night.
I got a pretty good fucking reaction in the hallway out here the other day. I was just walking out in the hallway to go out and get some fresh air, and like I just walked by these couple of dudes, and one of them turned around and was like, he's like, holy fucking damn, like right next to me, and I was like, oh my god. I never had that reaction before. I was looking really good that day. But like, yeah, it's always appreciated, you know.
Oh,
I do,
absolutely.
That's one of my
I-
favorite things on the site that shall not be named and Twitch. They're like, I talk with just a bunch of trans girls always on there because they all have accounts too. And we always are sharing stories, and it's always funny. Like, the ones that are like Frozen in me, that are just chill, they always have fun stories like that. And the ones that are the whiny little annoying ones that nobody likes, They always complaining about not having that happen. It's like,
Maybe because you suck and we don't.
maybe you don't have a grading personality, and maybe it'll happen.
Even I get that, and I have a grading personality, so what's their fucking excuse? Oh shit, shots
They're
fired.
worse than you.
I know.
I take some skill.
Yeah, and I actually put some effort into being really shit, so, you know, like...
I'm just a
It's not
teddy
all-
bear. I'm a lovable teddy bear, so I'm
It's
easy.
not all natural talent, Bree, right? I have to practice every day.
Yeah,
being
see,
an
for me,
absolute
it's just
dick.
all natural talent. I don't have to put any work behind it. It's great. I can be lazy.
Oh, I can't claim all natural anymore, because you know me.
Not with all more silicone.
Yeah, with 200% more silicone to be precise. Oh shit, son.
My invigoration spreads towards many. People always get this very voice of God impression from a lot of people that I meet. I always make sure that I make the best possible first impression that I can, all the time.
Oh yeah, like I always, and Proza knows this. I always like my life policy of make the most of every opportunity. 'Cause you never know what's gonna happen, and
It won't strike twice.
I've gotten to meet people in so many amazing industries that do cool shit. I've gotten to do crazy stuff that most people never expect. And like this week alone, the trucking company my best friend Miranda works for, what did she get to do this week? She got to deliver one of those huge tracks for the machine that takes the space shuttle and the rocket to the launch pad, brought it and shipped it to SpaceX and dropped it off.
Wow.
A little
Okay.
shipping pass so she could actually go in. She could watch them launch even if they want, if she wants. And it's just like,
Dang.
I got pictures, I think, of the track actually on.
See, that's the one thing
My
about
phone.
I've always loved about having a career is you can do cool shit. Like when I did that flight training a few months back.
That's part of why I'm pushing more IT stuff in my life that much more for full-time work, etc. Just keep pushing it.
Yeah, my bosses at my current job. They wish they had the capacity to send me to expos and stuff
Oh.
like that because I was talking about it, but they don't pay for it, so they can't afford the time off because. But they wish they could do it because it's such a great learning
wow.
opportunity, and you learn so much. So
That is very neat, Bree. What you showed me there.
Like, isn't that just the coolest shit?
let me bring up my phone so I have to change this shit over.
Like, to me, that's cool. Getting the fact that she got to actually deliver something like that to that company. Because they keep that stuff pretty well guarded. It's like, no, we don't want people to see what you're bringing. We don't. They try to be, just it's kind of like NASA actually with that. They try to, be very careful with that shit. And it's like, this is really cool. Like,
Oh,
you're one of
definitely, because
very
part of
small amount of people in the country that get to work with that shit. Like, I grew up with one guy that used to work for NASA. He was homeschooled by one of my mom's best friends. Grew up with a guy. We played Myst together on his computer.
Oh, nice.
Growing up. Because then we could work together on the puzzles because we were young and trying to figure it out on our own was not always easy.
Learning how to learn and learning how to think.
Yep.
Oh my god, Myst was a challenge, yeah.
And I look at that and it's like, I know 2 people now that have been involved with the space stuff with the United States. Like, that just, for me, just feels really cool because it's like, look at these cool people. I can be like, look at these people that I know that I got a chance to meet or grow up with. And look at their badassery. It's like, it's better than my shit, even though I don't think my shit's all that cool, even though I have friends like Stella and others who think somehow I'm the coolest thing since sliced bread, which makes 0 sense to me, but whatever.
I do like that phrase, the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, because before then people were just mashing 2 loaves of bread together. Like, yeah, it's the easiest way we
Bread
can
and
do a
milk.
sandwich. Yeah. Just before you couldn't figure out how to make sandwiches before then.
They didn't cut bagels in half. They just put 2 bagels together.
Yeah, they just put 2 bagels together. The same thing with rolls,
Actually, with rolls, that's still fun to do. Just squish 2 of them together.
Yeah, just squish 2 of them together. It's just...
Those really cheap, fluffy ones from like Thanksgiving.
Oh god. Yeah, just.
And now I want some of those tomorrow.
It took fucking forever for the sandwich to be invented after that because the Earl of sandwich is like, yeah, bread. I can hold my cucumbers and that shit. There you go. Wicked. All right, like I'm naming it after myself. Earl of Sandwich. Go look that shit up. But it took us that long to figure out, like, knife, bread. Oh fuck me, this is
Knives
this
cut
is
shit. What?
we figured out how to kill each other much fucking quicker than we figured out how to slice bread. Right?
It makes zero sense.
You mean the stabby thing also works on non-human entities? Fuck me, alright, all this time I've been fucking just stabbing woolly mammoths and shit, dude. Turns out I could fucking just be stabbing a loaf of bread.
Wait, I
Oh.
could spread stuff on the bread with the same thing?
I bet that took how many fucking centuries? It's like, wait a minute.
Oh, at least
Wait a
one or
minute, like,
two. Yeah.
because it took him how long to fucking figure out? Wait a minute, a second slice of bread. Oh fuck me. You oldie Scooby Doo was looking at it like thinking, oh yeah, we could put another fucking slice of bread on top of that and end up with a sandwich like this big. True story, but yeah, we had bread fucking forever, and some dickhead was like, oh yeah, knives are a thing that exists. Fuck it, I'm giving people too much credit. They probably took axes and did it because that's how fucking stupid people are.
Hey, once while camping, we actually used an axe head as a frying pan, okay?
Okay, yep. So this is just convincing me. It wouldn't surprise me if they get axes for every single tool. That like it took forever to figure
the
out.
guys were lazy. They didn't wash the pans like us girls told them to do.
Mhm.
So we had to use an axe head because they refused to clean the stupid pan. They expected us to do it, even though we did all the cooking and other shit. But whatever. They couldn't clean.
Yeah, because they're guys, right? Like you expect too much out of a guy.
motherfuckers.
Yeah, again,
Well,
guys.
it was real simple. Either they clean it or they don't eat. So they didn't.
Well then, yeah.
So
So
we
they
made
don't
our
eat
own food and fuck them.
Yeah, no, for real. Well, you don't fuck them. That rewards them for bad behavior. You don't want to do that, Bree. You gotta maintain that control.
I'm not even gonna dignify what I was gonna. Nope. 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 Not gonna say what I'm thinking. Nope. Not happening.
My job here is done. I have completely fucking flabbergasted Bree.
Wrists and ankles. Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, wrists and
All
ankles.
right.
Yeah, look.
We are at
I'm
three
gonna
and a
catch
half.
a band.
We're at 3.5 hours. It's already
Catching a
20
band.
minutes to midnight.
I'm doing some-
I'm exhausted. I want to go to bed because now Frozen's fucking with me.
Yeah, and I'm
And
fucking
most
with Trish
people
too.
who are
Trish, check
watching
it out.
us have already
Ooh.
gone to
Uh-oh.
bed. Yeah, our chat has already gone to bed. Okay.
Look at my
That's okay.
It's on chat older than us. Holy shit! All right, sorry guys.
Our chat is younger than us,
What a bunch of
except
babies.
for Drax. Drax is older than me even.
God, what a bunch of babies. I'm like a party animal compared
But
to
the
these
babies all went to bed already. So the babies are
Aw.
in bed. It's time for the adults to finally go to bed now.
guys. Well, is it adults and you?
And
right,
Frozen.
No, I beat you there. No, you can't do that upon me.
You're right. I'm the grandma. I'm the one who should have been in bed
Yeah, bitch. No, grandma's. You gotta be. See, it's a. Old people don't actually.
Don't
need
make
that
me
much
grab my
sleep.
cane and start beating you. I will do
Like,
it.
no,
It's
get
right
this.
there. I will grab the cane and I will start smacking you.
Get this. Old people don't really need all that much sleep because they've already done with most of that development through life, right? When you're younger, you need a lot of sleep because like you're developing. That's why teenagers are always
I
fucking
do see
like,
that.
groggy
Yes, but
and
I have
babies
a
sleep a lot.
deficit of
But-
sleep for the week because
Well, I know you do, but I'm just saying, like old people, like grannies and shit, dude, they should be fucking clubbing up pretty fucking hard. Like, just like some
why do you
proper
think?
IB for shit.
Why do you think like my great aunt and others down in like Arizona and Florida, they're up until late night. They're up early
Yes,
and they're
'cause
off
they know.
doing shit, eating,
They-
going places and doing shit.
They're probably going to the fucking mall like 6 in the morning, fucking going to Chick-fil-A and all that shit, dude. I see it when I used to work in the
Yep.
mall. I'd see them there doing their
Yep.
mall walks,
They're mall
Waiting-
walking. They're
wait-
hitting up
waiting.
the stores right
fucking
when
mall-
they
I
first
do like walking
open.
through malls still.
They're like they're macking on the fucking 7-year-old bitches with their McDonald's coupons. Yeah, I got 10 cents off a fucking cup of coffee, bitch. Yeah. Right? That's gonna be me in like fucking like 10 years from now. Those mailing coupons get all those old people laid,
In
alright?
chat, we will record it when Frozen starts acting like a grandma too.
Right? You mean like I already do? Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there about the whole granny sex thing, and how you get granny sex with McDonald's coupons. because that's a great place to leave it.
Until next time.
All right, next time, hopefully we can get Frozen to install Steam and we can maybe do some co-op gaming.
Oh God,
Like
yeah,
we
I have
talked
to
about.
still.
Reminder for you before you forget.
Well, we have to pick a game that I will actually play with you on stream.
I'll
because
gift you the game. That's not a problem.
that doesn't mean I'll play it.
We'll figure it out. We got 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, that's enough time. All right, but yes, we'll figure something out so we can do some co-op shit.
Kong,
eventually.
remind people where you are easily found.
Oh yes, it is K0ngbuster. That is K0ngbuster, and it's on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube is a primary one. You know, my Twitter and YouTube are primary for that. I also do have a link tree that I can send out to anybody with all of my professional links and professional itinerary as well, but mainly YouTube, Twitter, etc. K0ngbuster, K0ngbuster.
And I will put probably the link tree in the description when I upload this to you, or after I upload this to YouTube. So.
Oh, cool. And I'll send you that stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll make it easy for y'all.
Coolio.
Yeah.
Because
Well.
lazy is always a wonderful thing.
Man, I love being lazy. Trust me on that one. It's work smarter, not harder.
Well,
Mhm.
thanks for
Oh,
coming, Crime.
Absolutely.
So, for
Oh,
the
yes,
rest of
and
you
Grim,
who are
and thanks for
hiding
being
in
here.
chat, oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I need to go get some sleep. So, I'm going to
Us-
hit ending here.
I'm gonna go
The
have my
crypto
after party.
bros need some sleep.
We need to crash. So, have a wonderful night, chat. And we'll catch you guys in 2